Welcome back to another fantabulous episode of the Red Wagon Inn. We are down a Jakey tonight, but she is with us in spirit and she is with us in art right down below me, which is just as good, right? So thank you all for joining us tonight. We've got our other crew joining us and we have a lot of chaos to recover from last week, and so we'll see how that all happens. No, nothing at all. No one-shot wonders here of killing bosses. Not a big deal at all. Thank you all for joining us. We have a lot of art to show off tonight. We have a really cool giveaway, and we're just happy to see you all here. And we have a couple cool surprises for tonight, so that will be really awesome as well. So thank you all for joining. Before we get started on anything, does anybody have any shillin' they need to be billin'?
Me. But I'll let Jakey go first.
Okay, just quickly, hello everybody, I'm Jakey. Today I posted an update on my Kickstarter thing because I'm still working on my graphic novel and whatnot. This is a project well before Red Wagon Inn, but fun fact, in probably 2022, if you want to get a graphic novel made by me, you can. It's about D&D and goblins and stuff. Ooh-wee. But another thing, I'm opening up my commissions this weekend. So it's been like several months and there's going to be very limited because I'm trying to work on like a less crazy schedule. So if you want like a headshot like we have on here, some drawings, you can hop on over to my website and on stream while I'm streaming through this week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to be doing giveaways for little discounts on commissions and things, and even a commission on Friday giveaway. It'll be cool. Drew, over to you.
Hi. I have 13 sets left in the shop. If you want them, go buy them because I don't know how long they're going to be there. With that being said, there's a special promo code that somebody over there got to make, and it's Moosh 15, MOOSH 15. Get $15 off your order. So, go buy some stuff.
Whoop whoop. Thanks for the shills. Also, if this is a goblin-themed D&D graphic novel and Twintig does not show up at some point, I will riot, just personally calling you out in front of everybody so that it has
He's the first death, actually, so don't worry.
Good. He's got a red shirt.
How much do I need to donate to have Twintig underneath a boulder?
Just Twintig
absolutely
jelly.
Nothing. For free?
For free?
Oh, free. Can we have like an ad in the graphic novel at the back, like tokens that have for free?
Red Wagon Inn that you could rip off.
You could join Red Wagon for free. We'll talk.
Remember at the back of comic books how you had like, you can buy this sword.
Mail this in.
Then in 20 years you read it and you're like, what? This was a thing?
I used to read my dad's, and I was so keen for all of the stuff in the back, and I was well aware that there was no way I was getting any of it. Sad.
Can we partner with Home Depot to mail in 25 cents and get a red wagon sent to your house today? That would be amazing. Awesome. Any other shills that need to happen? Good, then let's shill some art. We have a couple different things. Arcane Fired made 3 different pieces of art. Spoilers if you haven't seen the last episode, which you should have seen the last episode before coming to this one, but spoilers if you haven't. Tadage has some awesome art from Arcane Fired. Look at Tadage. Look at that. Furbolg, who's also mechanical, and now look at him being blown up.
I feel like that doesn't really add something correct anymore. There we go.
Yeah. That's the much more that's the much more appropriate one. Who's that in the distance that you can see right in the head right there? Arcane Fired also made a amazing piece of art, which we have turned into an emoji over on the Discord channel, which is the interesting from Ordell. Yeah, you got me covered. Verity made 2 pieces of art for Ashrin and the Black Archer, as well as Winter, which are looking awesome. And I love that one conversation and Ashrin and the Black Archer are almost officially shipped at this point. That's just happened. Alex got some art done in 3 different places, and I'm going to throw up on here, well, not 3 different places, one place, but here's 3 images of the XC hairdo that was done for Alex. Look at that! Look at that hairdo.
So cool.
Show him live, Alex. Show him what you're working with
It's
here.
it's gonna blur.
Yeah, it will
it's
blur.
not. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, so good. It's so good.
You get to wear your art. It's like a tattoo for your hair. Drew made some art as well, because Drew keeps making amazing art. And look at that. Look at the arms of Hadar, or arms of Michael, as actually was done last time over Winter. You should have had one of these, like,
Ouch.
slapping
grabbing
Winter.
yeah.
It's just,
I wanted to do right before they murder her.
yeah, you know, before picture, after picture.
So close.
And then Jakey had the recap doodle, which this time he did mention that he was a bit busy with all the stuff happening last time, so less time to doodle, but I
Yeah.
still love it. I love
A little more
just
anarchy.
whole patrol in quotes. We'll just leave that one up there to fester. We have 2 giveaways tonight. The first giveaway is going to be a mystery token for something amazing that you get, as well as a giveaway from HimGo, which they have a Kickstarter that ends within it's going to be close to like 12 hours at this point. They have their rainbow metal dragon dice. They sent me a bunch of them. Actually sent them to me saying, hey, if you want to take a look at these and review them, great. If not, here's a gift, which is my favorite way to receive things without like, you got to do this for us. It was just, hey, here's a nice gift. Also, you're a cool person. So I wanted to make sure that they got some spotlight. So HimGo, which stands for Him of the Ghost, has a Kickstarter, and they have a bunch more ones coming up. And I just posted all their art and all their dice over on Twitter and Instagram. So go check them out. But also, the Rainbow Metal dice are going to be up for grabs tonight. So very crunchy, very, very tasty looking dice. With that, is there anything before we go for the recap tonight? We have no Jakey, so Brie, do you want to just do the recap? Or...
I would like to roll for it. Thank
okay.
you.
Well, then let's go ahead and roll.
I'll wait till Drew's dice fail me, and then I'll do the recap.
Drew, tarot or sushi?
Taro.
Tarot. I'm doing my first ever roll with these tarot dice I got from Hummingbird Dice. It's kind of faded but it's like tarot boba. I love them.
That's
What
pretty.
a waste.
What a waste.
And I'm using my Paradise Made little liquid core. Wow!
Wow.
Support your local artist.
19
Unless
on my
it's
first
Drew.
roll with the tarot
Natural
boba.
one.
On these
Emily,
Oh.
why?
beautiful dragon scale, I got a 6.
Does that mean that with my 7, I still don't have to do it?
Oh man. Okay, yeah, you don't. Okay,
Yes.
that means it's on me. So I'm gonna rewrite history
No,
here.
Drew.
I got a 1.
You got a 1, Ryan.
Oh, I thought. Oh, shoot. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
You don't
okay,
get to
cool.
rewrite
First
history.
time I've ever rolled these dice. Emily,
You-
sorry, probably not going to use them tonight.
Bye, local.
You shut up and let Emma rewrite history.
Well,
So,
Emma, what
Crazy
actually
fun
happened?
things. The best part is I didn't go back and rewatch the part where I was out for like 30 minutes trying to figure out what happened. So I'm gonna guess.
So you rewrite history, yeah.
Yeah. So long story short, the group was gonna go through this little tunnel at the beginning to get into this town. They were on their way to go get Tadich. That was their main goal, but Ordell wanted to stay back because he was too thick to get through the hole. So the others started to go through the hole. This is starting off weird. And Emma goes inside the ring. Ashrin goes through the hole. Emma pops out, of course, stealthy Emma. And then Winter comes through, but she doesn't get all the way through and she gets stuck. And then the hole collapses. And then Emma puts up a little illusionary thing to make it look good. And then I had to go help my dad start his car. So I'm going to assume what happened is that they all said, Winter and Emma can just stay here, and we're going to go back to Ordell and not die. I think that's what happened. And so Emma and Winter stand up in front of this lovely eatery. Everyone freaks out. They try, the guards come, chaos ensues, Ordell runs in, starts rampaging, and then the three, so Winter, Emma, and Ashrin go running and then blow up a building with a fireball, and then Ordell gets caught, but XC's climbed up a building. Then Ordell wakes up, and then there's Tadich, and they duke it out after some bear traps and stuff. And then Ordell gets beat. But wait, Ordell gets up and he's like, I'll work for you. And then he's like, cool. And he raises up his hand, and then XC's like, plow. And then murders Tadich. And that is my possible recap after the other three pretty much got seen blowing up the building and called witches, and now they're running.
I was going to
Is-
say,
is
what
that
was happening
close?
with the other three? You did miss one thing. You were there for it. So XC does go up into a building to kind of help Ordell by sniping people who are going towards him. But then XC leaves for a moment and goes back in. Where does he go when he leaves?
He goes inside another building, but I'm trying to remember what the building was. I'm gonna have to take a GFY on this one because I don't remember.
I don't know. It was a really good recap. I'll let chat decide, but he does go back up to the tree outside of town to make sure that you all are doing okay.
Right.
And here's the 7 who start chasing off you, Ashrin.
That's right.
And
That was the
Winter.
whole thing that happened.
Chat demands an inspo, so I'm a man of the people, and I will allow a inspiration
take
for the
it.
Drew. It was good. It's good. Anything else anybody needs to add? Currently, Winter, Asher, and Emma running away on Steed as they go further to the west out of town. Ordell and XC stand in the very middle of town. Anything else?
I mean, I
anybody
just
needs to
want
add?
to
GFY,
add
I
that
forgot Steed.
Ordell did knock down an entire freaking watchtower.
It's
That
true.
is true, too.
That is true. He literally knocked it down.
Winter has continued writing fan fiction. She's up to chapter 2. Things are starting to get a little steamy.
So I think you're lying to me. What's the title of chapter 2?
The title of chapter 2, it's Into the Darkness.
Oh, okay. Well, you had that ready to go, so I guess you're not lying. So
I'm not lying. It
when are
was
you
at the
linking
very
that for
start of the
everybody?
episode. Very start of the episode.
When are you linking that for everybody?
When am I linking it?
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to head over to Twin Peaks
Brie.
OnlyFans.
Oh no.
All right, awesome. If we got nothing else, let's go ahead and get it started. So thank you everybody for joining us. Grab a drink, pull up a chair, and come hang out with us as we continue exactly where we left off. Winter, Emma, and Ashrin are riding Steed out and further to the west of town as they had recently yelled out, "Oh, Black Archer!" to the edge of town as everyone then immediately more alarm bells start going off. And Steed starts rushing further to the west. It is midday at this point, maybe 1 o'clock or so, though the sky doesn't make it feel like that. It is a very, very stormy day, though no rain comes out of these clouds that seem to have a constant thunder and lightning rolling through them. As you head further to the west, you see the door open up, the gateway on the west side of town, and 2 riders on horses of some unknown size, shape, origin. You can't quite tell that they're alive horses or dead horses like you saw before, but they are rushing after you at a great speed. Would say you're about maybe 200 yards out from the edge of town at this point, as the 3 of you rush and ride on Steed further away. Ashrin is still currently holding the reins as she just keeps booking it in that direction. Winter and Emma, what are you 2 doing as these riders chase you down, not into the sunset, but further off and away from town?
I am still in the ring, I believe.
Okay, you are in the ring. So Winter, then, you are currently riding on the back of Steed as Ashrin hightails it away from town. Ordell and XC will get back to you in just a moment.
Oh, I really have to stop yelling, don't I?
Yes,
Oh, I
yes.
forgot.
You have to keep your mouth shut as she... hits on
I'm
the
not
reins.
used to not. I forgot. I forgot that we're meant to be secret and people aren't meant to know that we're here.
As Ashrin looks, she says, "Hold on, swap me places," and tries to hand you to the reins and see if she can get on the back of the horse while you steer the steer.
I
steed.
try and kind of like scurry to the front, I guess, but
Both of y'all roll me a
yeah.
dexterity save. Okay.
Yeah, that went about as well as expected. 8.
Good. As As she tries to get you to go around on the front side of the horse, in doing so, she puts her foot on one of the stirrups to lean and let you back, but you do not put your foot on the other one, and so you don't have anything to hold on to, and you begin to fall off the horse. She's going to try and reach to, okay, you fall off the horse as Ashrin reaches her hand out off to the other side, and Winter, you begin rolling in the dirt, taking 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you roll in the dust below. You can
Why
hear...
is everyone trying to kill me?
You can hear the loud trotting of the horses as they get closer to you, but Ashrin pulls Steed to a stop and turns around and approaches you. As Ashrin stops Steed near you, she says, okay. She pulls out her rapier and with a flourish pulls it forward and says, all right, we're just going to take care of them with Emma. And as she puts the ring on, Emma, you feel yourself pulled out of the ring for the first time, seemingly against your will, but you see a passerby as you come out of the ring.
It's the Spider-Man meme.
It's that car meme with the two.
Yeah,
What are you doing here? As Ashrin looks at you with great confusion as you are pulled out of the ring. Winter, you see Ashrin put the ring on before being sucked into it, and her rapier falling onto the dusty ground as Emma now stands book in hand, looking out as the two of you stare down the riders heading your direction.
Oh no.
No, that's never happened before.
Emma. I don't think Ashrin's meant to be in there.
She'll be all right. Maybe? I don't know. I was all right. I was also dead. I wonder if she can breathe in there.
I'm gonna scoop the ring up and... Do you know how to ride a horse?
No.
The other horses are maybe about 100 yards from you at this point.
Huh. We have to look big and scary. This is what we do. And Emma's gonna and use her silent image to create a giant bone golem standing behind both of them. Just for sheer intimidation.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll me.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation to make it smell just really bad. Make it smell like absolute death.
Roll your intimidation at advantage, Emma.
All right, intimidation. Woo. 6.
So
Emily, I tried, Emily. I tried.
At advantage, it was a 6.
Oh wait, I didn't roll at advantage.
Okay.
Hey, that's an 18.
Hey, there you go,
So
Emily.
18 plus 3, so yeah, 21, 20, 23. I don't know, math.
As this great vision of a large skeletal golem pulls itself from the ground, Winter, you pull energy out and around and you make a steam-like substance begin to pour itself up and out of the earth. It smells sulfurous, it smells dank, it smells vile, and it flies off in the winds towards your enemies. And as such, I rolled a 6 and a 16 for their resolve. So one of them stops at the mere sight of the golem, but the other one continues to ride their horse further along. But as soon as the jet of sulfurous fumes fly out from the air, you can see the person pull their shirt up above and begin turn their horse around and ride it back into town. It seems that you are not currently worth the fight since you're not actively attacking their town, but that may change if they find out that you were the ones who blew up the house. However, these two turn tail and ride back towards the town. As Emma, you stand there with a great bone golem, spinal columns that stick out almost further than its rib cage, hovering over you. You can see right through it into the sky above, but apparently they were not able to see.
Okay, so now that they're scared, we have to work out how to get inside the walls so that we can get the big furry guy with the metal face.
Emma's gonna take Winter's hand that's holding the ring, and she's gonna bring it up to her face and tap on it. Tap, tap. Don't mess with my stuff, please.
Go ahead and roll me an
organized.
Arcana check.
11 plus 5, so 16.
You have seen Ashrin put on the ring many a times. just to wear it or just to hide it, whatever, but it has never caused her to go inside the ring. And everything that you've read in the books within the ring don't indicate that a person should be able to do this.
Also, don't die in there, please.
I'm so confused about what we should be prioritizing right now.
I think
I
this
think
is
it's-
wrong.
What do we still try and kill the big thing? I mean, we blew up his house. It's probably enough damage for one day, but also, like, where do we go now?
We should go back to the tree.
Okay, you mean the direction that those horses are running at us from?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, that's a great idea. You have such good ideas.
So
Love
we'll just
them.
follow the people that we're running away from, ignore the burning building, and just hope Ash is fine in a ring we don't know if she can breathe in.
Yes. That all sounds wonderful.
So you
Right.
see the riders go back in towards the gateway that leads them into town. You did have to go from the south upwards to the west, so you can avoid the gateway and take a more safe route south and back towards the tree if you'd like. However, I do know the two of you. You could walk through town if you would like to do that.
That
Probably not.
hurt last time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into the ring. Can I see Ash?
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
Oh no,
He's in there.
that was close. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a 24.
24. As you look down into the ring, what you once saw as an emerald fire mimicking Emma's eye socket and heart, it is still an emerald ring, but you see a tint of a crimson flame inside of there now.
Does it look like it's flickering? Like it's doing okay?
It
Like
looks
it's got
very
enough
similar to
oxygen?
the way you saw Emma's. However, Emma is dead and brought back to life. That's not necessarily comforting to you.
Okay. I'm gonna try and cast message into the ring. And say, hey Ash, are you dead?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Listen, that one.
Okay. You know that based on what Emma's described, there is a room in there. However, with such a small target and your finger, every minor millimeter movement is feet away. So chances of hitting her is quite literally like finding a needle in a haystack with your magic. So you're certain that you could communicate with her in that way, but it may take some time trying to pinpoint where she's at.
I mean, her flame's not out, so that's gonna be a good thing.
I would assume so. I've never actually been able to see myself inside the ring, so I don't know what I look like outside of the ring, so I'm assuming what you're saying is probably a good thing. Maybe.
Anymore. Also, whose day is it now?
I don't know.
Um,
And Emma picks up the rapier, and Emma holds it to the sky. Aha!
I lower her arm and say, I don't think we're ready for Emma's day.
Fair. Emma's gonna
Let's-
just like holster it somehow, like in the clothing, and just hold this rapier.
You do like a weave through your rib cage, in one rib, out one rib, in one rib as it slides in downwards.
I'm gonna grab Steed's reins and kind of like I'm not really that interacting with live animals. So kind of like cautiously grab the reins and start to give it like a little yank, and try and get Steed to walk with me.
Go ahead and roll me an animal handling. As you look at Steed, you go to pet its nose in between, and you see its eyes like a chameleon darting in one direction and the other one darting completely off and incorrectly. What's your check?
11?
11. It knows that you're friends since you've ridden on it before, so it does follow as you pull its reins. Trying to
Okay.
ride it will be a different check, but it seems to follow your lead, quite literally.
Oh, I am not going to ride this horse. No, thank you.
Can't be that hard. And Emma's gonna tap Steed. Steed, let me ride you.
Emma.
Do you try and hop on?
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me an animal handling.
Hey, all right. 17 plus 4. So that's 21.
As Winter, Emma, as you pat the nose and Steed kind of, it just kind of bobs as you do so. Your light bony like frame doesn't cause too much of an issue as far as weight for Steed. It might not even know that you're on its back. As you put one foot up and hop onto the saddle, you're able to hold both sides of the reins as you look down towards Winter and kind of give a little shrug of your shoulders. As Winter, you look at Steed in the eye. It doesn't necessarily look at you back, but it doesn't seem to register that Emma is on its back. Doesn't necessarily seem to register that it exists.
Greatest horse ever.
Okay. I'm just going to start walking the long way back to the tree.
Are you going to plan and take the long southern route to try and avoid being seen? Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check for both of you. You can do it at advantage since you're taking the long way around. At advantage, Winter.
I know.
Just saying.
I know.
I got an
Wait, what
11. I had a natural 1 and a 9.
I got 9. I got a natural 1 and an 8.
Good. So, as Winter and Emma begin walking the long way round and say like, "Is that the tree?"
Emma, look out for the black archer. He's got
Black
piercing
archer.
brown eyes. He's got piercing brown eyes.
As
Gorgeous.
He's a super hunk. At least in my fan fiction, he's really attractive.
he's a super hunk and she's a super freak. As let's cut back to XC and Ordell. We're going to continue right at the moment as the blood falls to the ground like rain, and you hear the ting of the silver dagger land on the ground as Ordell stands there with his hand up. Smoke exits the barrel of XC's rifle, and the crowd is stunned for a moment. As Ordell, what did you say last time as a result of this death?
Ordell out loud was just like, "So about that beer," and then whispers to himself, "I thought left hand up was a warning shot. Oh, jeez."
That was the warning shot.
As Ordell holds his hand up, their leader immediately turned into red mist. Without waiting but a moment, Ordell turns to the nearest person. "So about that beer." As suddenly panic ensues in this square as Tadage explodes. There is a mixed reaction of both terror and joy coming from some of them. You can see a few people drop to their knees and hold their hands above their head as the rest of the crowd seems to scramble and run away. A few people pointing up towards where they see and have heard the shot come from. Ordell, you didn't know where XC was. You were kind of just hoping that XC would be able to do this in the first place. However, after the shot, you are able to pinpoint it. XC, what are you doing on top this garden top on this roof?
Loading another bullet.
As they not only see XC atop the garden top, they see another bullet being loaded into the chamber that is XC's arm with its kickstands out on the ledge.
And then I will do a hey, look, I've got a prop today. Yay! I'll do a little slow.
Do you try and just almost intimidatingly wave your gun across the crowd?
Sounds about right.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an intimidation at advantage since Tadage is jelly. Oh, sorry, Google.
I'd be pretty jealous too.
1 and an 8. With no modifiers. You know what? I'm going to use an inspiration.
Yeah, because you're not going to like what
Oh.
I'm going to do if you have a 1 or an 8.
All right, that's better. 18.
18. So, FYI, if you didn't, the ball was going to roll out of the barrel and just ding, 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 on the floor. So, as XC begins to just sweep around, mostly at the people who seem to be pointing up towards him in a display of intimidation, there are many who, as soon as they see the rifle aimed in their direction, immediately leave this square. This is a very open market stall-esque area. There are hardly any places to hide that your rooftop vantage wouldn't be able to see them from. So many of them just leave. There are a few that stay. However, they are smart enough not to just run up towards the building. A few of them rush behind the stalls that are nearby where there's a roof. Probably about 3 stay. There are a few people who are still in the market, probably about a dozen or so. Many people have just left and run to the safety of their town. You can still hear screams off in the distance. At about this time, you also hear alarm bells going off to the western side of town. Something else is going on, and XC, at your vantage point, go ahead and roll me a perception.
+7 is 19.
19. You look briefly off to the west, and you can begin to see a column of smoke flowing upwards into the air. Who knows where that came from, Winter and Emma?
I didn't shoot anything.
Winter?
Fire.
I will keep the position waiting to see what Odell does.
Ordell, you now stand there. No one is around you. The soldiers have gone to, or not necessarily soldiers, more raiders, have gone to take cover in the stalls nearby. You can actually see some of them from where you're at. Again, maybe about 3 or 4 are still here. The rest have gone off. And there's a few people who've just dropped to their knees praying on the ground. At your place, go ahead and roll me a perception for you as well.
13 plus 4, 17.
17. You notice that everyone who has dropped to their knees and is praying have no ears.
Interesting.
What are the
Or
two of you doing?
I still have my stuff, right? Like, Buddy just tied me up. He didn't, like, ransack me.
Oh, yeah, you don't have, like, your weapon and stuff on you. They were on a table nearby. You could go get those.
I'm going to go get my bag. I'm going to leave my weapon, and I'm going to go up to one of the people praying. I am going to take out, like, Ordell's little journal that he's been mapping on. I'm going to write in it who is second in command with a question mark, and I'm just going to pinch a gold piece in that piece of paper, and I'm going to tap someone praying and hand that to them.
As you grab your pack, fling it over shoulder, XC, you see Ordell walking calmly to grab his stuff and back over to a young woman who seems to be praying. As you look down, Ordell, roll me a nature check.
Ooh, nature, not great, but I still have one. No, 4 total.
4. This woman, though lacking in any ears, has very pointed and eloquent features on her face. Very sharp, defined features. A very, very long nose and high cheekbones. As she look up to her, she kind of... As you hand her the paper, she grabs the piece, looks at the coin.
And then I'm going to hand her the charcoal that I used to write. Just in case, because I'm not sure. Ordell's not going to assume.
She kind of moves onto her back and scurries away just a little bit, unsure if you have any intentions to hurt her. Just kind of slowly slides away up to the edge of a table nearby, wanting to get at least some distance from you before she looks down at the note. She folds it up and takes the coin, pockets it, before she hands you back the note. Morgan would be old. Oh, she's an old man. Hooded in black and gray. Morgan.
Is that the man we saw before? Is that her description? Does that suddenly like, oh, buddy who strolled up to us and threatened us?
It does ring a bell.
Okay. Ordell doesn't know a ton of sign language, but I think that's one of the things he practiced. He's just going to say thank you in sign language, and he's just going to walk away.
As you walk away, seeing that you have no intention to hurt her, a few of the others that are kind of holding their hands up in prayer have noticed and stopped and looked and are just kind of holding hands to chest at this point. You notice most of them have these very sharply defined features as you walk on by. A few of them, as you go by, drop immediately and put hands down flat to the ground, bowing before you as you walk. You hear a voice from behind one of the stalls yell, "Don't you move, big one! We're not done with you!"
Ordell, before I stop, so this is something that Ashrin pointed out earlier. Because even though I didn't roll very high, now that I've seen multiple people what Ashrin talked about, am I putting two and two together? These are high elves with their ears cut off?
As a person, seeing enough of them, yes, you probably can.
Okay.
Do I hear that yell as well, by the way?
Yeah, they're very loud about it. Everything else now, the prayers are very internally and solid before now bowing. They're not saying anything. It is a very silent, you can hear the wind blowing nearby as dust flies up. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and do a shot. Are you trying to hit somebody?
I'm going to try to hit where that voice is. And because we are now level 6, and I have taken sharpshooter.
Everybody leveled up, by the way.
This means that... where is it?
Occasionally you just hear, Black Archer!
Half and 3/4 cover do not count anymore.
Currently, where they stand, they have full cover from you. However, if they should move up even a little bit to get sight of you, you would have no problem hitting them. If you'd like to wait,
then I'm just going to fire a shot at their location
to try and
I'm going to use one of my
splinter off some
special
wood.
pieces of ammunition.
Go ahead. What are you going to fire?
I'm going to fire a distractor.
Perfect.
I'll
Mind
explain
you,
what it does
yeah,
to
I was
hit.
going to say, mind you describe when it happens, what goes on?
I will. Would you like me to do a roll?
I would. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll to hit just right at the very top of the stall where you know the voice is coming from.
Alright, that is a 13 plus 8, 21 to hit.
As the voice says, "We're not done with you," sudden splintering of wood flies off from a nearby market stall, Ordell, maybe about 20 feet away from you.
And as it hits the wood, the bullet impacts and creates an extremely loud bang and whistle at the same time. So it's like a mix of like a boom with a... I can't whistle very well. Wow.
It
Someone
sounds
whistle for me.
It sounds like a firework going off in reverse, correct?
Pretty much. So it's a bang and a whistle in one hit. But really, quite substantial.
Go ahead and roll me an intimidation again at advantage.
That would be a 19.
Okay. Let's go. The two raiders that are behind this stall, as soon as the loud pop and the huge whistle appears nearby, jump out and away from the stall, afraid that something more is to come from where this shot lands. One of them holding a large halberd jumps out of the way, and one of them with a sword and shield, a kind of curved sword, this half-orc fella, rushes out of the way and kind of rolls to the ground, trying to get to a nearby stall. However, in this time, since you only fired one shot, you could take another pop shot at them if you're trying to hurt them, or if you're trying to scare them, you let me know.
Definitely. Can I at all kind of figure out who made the yelling voice?
Roll me a history check.
7. That ain't happening.
7. There is a half-orc man with a curved sword and a shield, and a young, what appears to be human man with a very, very long ponytail and halberd with thick leather raider leathers.
All right, I'll take a shot at the ponytail.
Okay, go for it.
Biologicals, why do they get hair and I don't? That is a 19 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
for 11 damages.
11. As you see him kind of pop up and run away, the half-orc goes towards the stall, and in this time he does get an opportunity to get to a nearby stall, or the one with the halberd stands up. This one seemed to be a bit green in the gills, though courageous that he was. As your shot fires into his leg, you can see him drop down to the ground, bleeding out pretty profusely. He's still up, but he's not doing too good. And as he does so, he tries to crawl to a nearby stall. Ordell, you see this happening nearby.
Wardell is just gonna go to the table, grab his stuff, because I'm assuming it was only those two raiders shouting at me.
Correct.
Yeah, if they're gonna die, XC's probably gonna kill them. Wardell's not interested in that. I'm gonna grab my stuff and start looking for the Morgan.
Okay, yeah, you already had your stuff from before when you went to go talk to...
Oh, okay.
the
Sorry,
woman.
I thought I left my weapon and stuff, but then, yeah, I'm gonna start looking for...
If you're
Can I spot Morgan or anyone who was with him? Because we saw that, like, brigade of people that, like, circled us. Can I see, like, any traces of anyone or either of these guys with him?
Roll a perception for me.
Ooh, pretty good, pretty good. 23.
You don't see anybody that you saw in Morgan's small little brigade that came out to meet you, nor any of the half-dead steeds and mounts that they were riding upon. Which,
Okay.
there were enough of them, and this was enough of a gathering watching you, that you can take with that what you will.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, I'm gonna check Buddy's body, because he mentioned that older guy had a map and he referenced that. I'm gonna search Head Splattington. That's his new name.
I'll give you advantage on the check if you remember his name with no help.
I don't know how I brain farted too. I fought him and I remembered it too. Tadich.
There you
Jeez,
go.
I don't know why I brain farted. Yeah, I'm just gonna check his body head to toe, see that if he has a map, his fancy dagger, money, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Investigation or perception?
Investigation.
That's fair. It's only +1, but still 19 total.
19 total. You immediately see the dagger that was laying on the ground, the kind of silver and gold dagger. It's a silver metal handle with gold pommel and crossguard. It's very, very ornate as it lays down. Even the pool of blood doesn't seem to stop the shine, though you can see some of your dried and decayed blood on the handle, or on the actual blade itself. Lays next to his body, which you can totally pick up. As you search through his pockets very briefly, you see a couple of things. You pull out one, which is a key in his pocket, as well as a small pouch of gems. Go ahead and let me see. I'll do it for you. All right, now go ahead and roll me a d6.
Ooh. 4.
You find 4 sapphires that seem to be worth about 200 gold each.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse me.
So
Very
pouch of
small, but still
sapphires,
powerful.
dagger, and a key, you said?
Yes,
Key ring or key single?
a single key.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pocket these for now. Okay, 4 sapphires, and they're worth 200 each, you said?
Yep. They're about
Okay.
the size of a small marble.
Cool. Interesting.
Bullet side.
Oh my god. I
Sapphire
will
bullets.
give you such an opportunity to enchant a sapphire bullet if you ever try.
That does sound pretty rad. Anything initial look of the dagger? Seeing it now, it's fancy and stuff. Does this dagger feel like it has a unique quality, or was Tadich just a fancy lad?
So, full description of the dagger. The dagger has an etched silver handle and a golden pommel. The curved blade has a notch cut up about halfway up the sharpened edge in the shape of a hook. It is a very odd shape and not something that you would have pictured to have been made in this area of the world, since you've been around here for a long time. So it is ornate, and he was doing magic with that dagger, but you're not sure if that was because of the dagger or something that Tadich does.
Yeah, Ordell's gonna sheathe the dagger, put it with this stuff. Yeah. I'm going to. Now, Tattage's place is the one that's burning currently, yes? Because we were pointed out that building. I guess Ordell's going to head there, because I'm assuming that's probably a central enough place where I could find this Morgan fella. I am going to look to Exie and give Exie a nod.
Is your
and while I
plan to
go.
walk calmly in the streets?
I mean, after that display, I don't think, like, if someone runs up to me, like, they can go ahead. Ordell raised his hand and made someone's head blow up from, like, some of these people's perspective. So I feel like Ordell's just kind of, like, walking.
Okay.
I'd like to picture that Ordell walks past the building I'm at, and then I sort of just land beside Ordell, slightly behind, and keep walking.
Oh yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy slow-mo walk through the town? Absolutely.
Gonna do the superhero landing. Go ahead and roll me a performance just to see how terrified this may make people as you jump down.
That's an 18, and I got +0, so...
As you fall down, your cape bellows in the air. You do a quick little roll as you land in the ground. Superhero style, one knee down, arm down. Very impractical for the knees, but dang, does it look cool. Doesn't matter. You don't have knee joints anyway as you pull back up and quickly walk back up to Ordell, walking slowly through the streets. As when you do so and move out of this marketplace, you can see the person that you shot from behind the market stall. They have another raider over there trying to bandage them up, but they are not doing too hot as their blood pours out profusely. And as you enter the streets, you can hear the cacophonous sound of doors closing. It seemed everybody was out there waiting to see what was happening, but as soon as you two show yourself in the streets, doors close, shutters pull, and windows slam. This also seems to be...
my hood's off as well.
Hood's off. This also seems to be too... What's the word? Too well done. This isn't just something that one person is doing. This seems to be something that the town has done many times before. They know to go in their home and don't be seen for a little bit.
I've had this in my inventory for a hot minute as part of like an Ordell thing. So Ordell's gonna bust out one of his cigars since we're in a Wild West town, and he's just gonna have a cigar while he's walking through the town by his robot buddy.
Hey, can you tell me what time it is?
For me?
Yeehaw.
Because it's high noon.
Also, what did you say, Exie? Sorry, I missed that last thing.
Do you also have one for me?
Ordell pulls out one, realizes Exie doesn't really have a mouth, and then Ordell with like the... So, you know in Robots when he's got the little cigarette lighter that he sticks in? Ordell's just going to try and make whatever looks like that through his like washers, and because we said he had scrap metal and stuff, so I'm going to make Exie a little metal pseudo cigar, and I'm going to give it to him.
Amazing.
As Exie, you see him take a look at the cigar before putting it away and giving you a metal pseudo cigar, as through Red Wagon Inn history, both cinnamon and a stick of metal have now been used as cigars.
There's a little, just an Easter egg for the viewer, anyone watching the cinematic edition, there's a little penguin etched in the side of the metal cigar.
I don't love how much we're promoting smoking.
Gosh dang. So
It's
Ordell
one
and
faction or
Exie,
another.
as you walk down, you get just a straight coolness bonus with your charisma. God dang. However, your
Man,
constitution
there's a
drops to 0
I
and
see
you
a whole
die.
group of school kids there, and I go, yo, kids, smoking's rad. And I give them each a cigar, pop one in each their mouth. Don't smoke.
Oh,
Ordell's
Sorry,
dead.
As
Is my
Ordell
mom
drops
showing?
dead
Is my mom
again.
Kids,
Ordell-
don't smoke.
Ordell's dead, and if you smoke, he'll kill you.
You know. Now we have to do a PSA after this for the ads before Red Wagon Inn starts.
Have you
It's
seen that
it's
vape
not
thing?
cool to smoke, kids.
Have you
So
seen
how's-
that
how's a
vape
robot
YouTube
cough go?
commercial?
Sounds exactly like a dog.
It's got a virus. That vape YouTube commercial where they're like, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs, and there's a monster. This time it's just Ordell with his maul back there, like. Right. As the two of them walk down the streets, it's going to take you some time to get to that building you originally were pointed out to see. However, Winter and Emma, you have been going for a decent amount of time, headed up towards the hill. You think stealthily and quietly. However, as you finally catch sight of the hill, both of you at the same time exclaim, "There it is! Look!" And you see the small group of 7 people who must have given up on their chase originally towards you turn and look quickly, seeming to be led by this kind of half-elf, or not half-elf, half-orc woman who turns towards you with spear in hand, clutching both ends at the base of the hill. You now stand there, Winter, holding Steed, Emma atop Steed, as this small group of 7 raiders look at you between you and the hill in which you want to go.
Salutations, friends. Hello.
Nuts.
You're a distance away to where conversation is not going to be very easy. But your yelling of "there it is" loud enough to carry on the wind for them to at least hear you. Not necessarily
if
what
it's
you
not
said.
loud enough, I'm going to use thaumaturgy to just really get it in there.
Perfect.
Hi,
Emma,
friends. Salutations.
your voice not only echoes and follows on the wind, it overpowers the wind, and you can see a bit of dust outwards from the megaphone that is the magic that you create as you speak. You see a few of them kind of pull backwards, stunned and alarmed at the sudden sound that they can hear nearby. No doubt that others in the tavern that you were nearby can hear as well with this loud, boisterous voice. You see them seemingly speaking and talking to each other, looking back and forth. A few of them grab their weapons and begin walking slowly in your direction.
Are they then? They don't have horses, do they?
They do not.
I feel like we may have set out on the wrong foot with these people, Emma. I don't think that they're going to be super jazzed about talking to us.
As you hear a second shot coming from further inside the town.
Our friends must be inside.
3 of them
Well, I don't see
stop.
them at the tree.
3 of them stop and take a look at each other, where half the group seems to split and head back into the town. 3 of them headed off in that direction. However, 4 of them still walking in yours. The orcish woman still kind of leading the group that's heading in your direction.
Oh dear.
This will be great. It'll be fine. No worries. As Emma reaches down and pats Summer on the head.
Winter.
Reaches into the
Winter.
ring and pats Summer on the head. Oh, I guess this is still not Summer, but
Nope.
wrong campaign.
Past life.
I don't know how it's so confusing. Ash, I'm gonna look back in the ring. How many fingers are you holding up? Is your hand on your chest? Do I start more fires? Or do I be friends with them? I'm very confused. None of them have metal heads.
Are you trying to message Ash again, or just talking to the ring?
I'm just talking to her.
As you talk to the ring, Steed suddenly pulls its head back up and kind of nudges the side of your head in a forceful manner. Not enough to hurt you, but just Steed seems to want to get your attention.
Not now, Steed. I'm talking to the ring. I just really wish there was some way for you to be able to communicate with me. It's really hard. I still don't even know if you're breathing. Tackle the ring.
I don't
So
know
this is
whether
what
to
it's
give you a
like.
GFY or an inspiration.
So this is what it's like watching someone try and talk to me while I'm in the ring.
What does it sound like?
Honestly, it sounds more like, and Emma's gonna use, Emma will use message and pointing like at the inside of Winter's head and just.
Oh. But okay, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking to Ash. We're gonna figure out how to get her out soon, but we should probably just gonna pat Steed on the face. we should probably go back into the town, I guess.
It sounds like a good idea. What could go wrong?
Oh, I know. I'm gonna like rummage around in my bag and see if I can find a necklace. I have a bunch of different trinkety things with me. And I'm gonna thread the ring through a chain or a piece of rope or something, and start like a pendulum to try and get the ring to show me some kind of direction and say, Ash, just like it's still your day, so you just let me know. Do we go north? Do we go south, east, or west?
Which way is the town?
From your direction, it would be to the northeast.
Cool. I'm gonna use Mage Hand, which is clearly visible. It's just a skeletal hand to poke it to go northeast. Wow.
It's not your day, Emma. But Ash isn't being very helpful. I'll put the string around my neck and then go, I guess we're going north, blood magic?
Well, I suppose we should talk to these people first. They look very friendly and like they want to talk to us.
Are we
Probably.
looking at the same people, Emma?
Everybody's a friend if you talk to them, right?
Yeah, especially if you blow up half of their village.
We don't know that.
Pretty sure. What? Do you remember? Remember that fire we set like 20 minutes ago?
Why do you keep saying we? It's not a we thing.
I swear, everyone was casting fireball, right?
This is not we. How much closer are we to these people?
You have been standing there. You've just nudged the ring.
Yeah.
However, they have been moving closer. They're about 100 feet away from you at this point. Both of you
I
roll me a
guess-
perception. As you've
Natural
currently been
20.
very locked eyes and looked down at the ring.
Natural 20 with this beautiful delirium dice logo.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa,
wow.
whoa, whoa. Whoa, focus. Whoa, whoa.
Winter.
16.
Oh, good rolls. Winter, all four of them are still there walking towards you. They have not tried to sneak around or flank you in any way. They seem to think that they could take you as they approach you. Emma, you can see behind them, you see there are 3 others that were headed back towards town. You must have been pretty focused on Winter as you two were conversing about what you were conversing about, but you now see the 3 of their bodies laid down at the base of the hill.
Okay. This is gonna go fine. Don't worry, Winter. Just be good. I think that we have friends with us, and Emma's gonna like, ha, and get the reins to go like a little bit faster, or at least move towards these people.
Horse. I am not on the horse.
Winter quickly holds, tries to hold on. Winter now has to sprint to be able to keep up with the small trot of Steed as it approaches these 4. You stop maybe about 20 feet away from them as now they all kind of hold spears and rapiers and shield out towards you in a defensive manner, as if to say, come no closer before Winter, you approach. Next to Steed with Emma sitting atop. The orcish woman looks up at you, Emma, and points her spear up towards you. Did you do this? Did you blow the building up?
No.
Did you?
Me?
Yes, you, necromancer. You skeletal thing.
Does that seem like something a necromancer would do?
Honestly, no. I would think someone who studies other magics would probably do that.
Yeah. Like, if anything, I would have raised it from the dead, right? Or I would have had like little bats flying in, like little death
That would've
bats,
been
and they would
cute.
yeah, that would be so cute. But I don't think I would use fire. That really, it doesn't seem like a necromancer thing to do.
No.
they seem to be, besides the one speaking to you, kind of conversing in whispers behind. The orcish woman with the spear still points, seemingly unamused at your antics. However, the other three kind of look back towards each other and hold backwards a little bit now, still holding their weapons, but far more defensively, where the orcish woman is very much more accusatory towards the two of you. She says, necromancers come up with all sorts of tricks, and you have magic abound. That one seems to ride just fine, but I see your markings. You enslaved and unwilling to work for you, necromancer.
Oh, unlike you people, I don't enslave anyone.
She's a good one.
We enslave no one. We work for fair pay, for fair wage.
What about all of those animals that you have that are undead?
This is true.
Do you pay them too?
Do you pay your cross-eyed horse? She looks down
Of
at
course.
Steed.
Steed gets all the beautiful apples and nuts. That is what horses eat, right?
As you say, of course, Steed seems to lean its head down and begin licking the dirt.
Steed is very, very special to us.
We take care
We
of our
haven't
living.
great
We don't need to feed the dead, and you let your horse just feed off of the dirt and the dust.
There is salt in the ground. It's good for horses. Horses like salt.
He likes it.
He does.
It's a mud shake.
As the orcish woman looks back to her companions and kind of nods the head as if to approach the two of you. The other three kind of walk around in a wide circle as if to circle around you as she walks forward and takes 5 steps, still locking eyes with the two of you. She says, there doesn't need to be any death. You come in, you can work and live for free. We don't need to kill you here.
And we don't plan to kill you. I don't believe that's correct, right? We had no plans to kill them.
I think so, no.
We'll give your horse proper food and nourishment. Poor thing.
That
looks
sounds very
half-starved.
nice.
It does. That sounds wonderful. Except for I think Steed would probably still eat dirt.
Mm.
Wouldn't you,
Steed-
Steed? And rub Steed's ears.
Steed,
I
as you
mean-
rub your, kind of like nods your head, its head as if to get your hand off of its ears.
I guess you were right, Emma. They seem like nice people.
Very nice people.
As the orcish woman approaches, she's maybe about 10 feet away from the two of you at this point, long spear in hand. The others have approached and kind of circled around you to where there's not much of a avenue for escape at this point without running into one of them. As one of them says, what is that? As you turn back, there's a man with a rapier and shield in hand. As he looks down at Emma in your cape, there's what looks to be a large metallic tail coming out of you as the rapier you have placed between your ribs has poked out the back of your cape, and given the illusion that you have a very sharp pointed tail coming out of
Oh,
you.
so it looks like I have 2 tails now.
It
'Cause
does.
I have an actual tail.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. This is my stabby stick, and Emma pulls it out and just holds it up.
As you pull the rapier out, he kind of lives a sigh of relief. You hear the orcish woman say, "And this is mine," before making a lunge towards Winter.
Is she trying? Oh, okay. Sorry, Winter. I just thought she was going for Steed.
Right.
Not a big deal then.
Whatever.
She would never hurt Steed. She thinks you two are abusing the hell out of Steed. As
Shield.
okay. Let's see. Your AC normally is 14, correct?
Correct.
So the first hit of the spear slices into the side of your arm, and in reaction, you pull up a magical barrier that blocks the other lunge of the spear. So you only take low roll 4 points of piercing damage on your shoulder.
Just four.
Just
Just
four.
four to the
Just four.
squishy little wizard.
As that happens. Go ahead and roll me initiative for the two of you.
As we're rolling for initiative, Emma's just gonna say, "How rude."
6. Well, I didn't like that.
21.
21. Okay. 6 from Winter.
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to go Emma, them, Winter. So, Emma, as you turn thinking that the orcish woman is going to stab you, a sigh of relief as it only stabs Winter. You then are able to quickly make a reaction as Winter has to spend her time blocking the blow.
Just to address something in chat, that is with mage armor.
Wizard!
Wizard! Please don't attack me anymore, my own party.
Ordell, you want to tell him your health, and then Winter, you want to tell him your health?
Winter after you.
41 is my max HP.
Respectable.
104. So same numbers, just mine are flipped with a 0 on the middle, you know?
Yeah.
Show off.
Easy to remember.
Mine has a 0 at the front. 0 for
There's
1.
still a 0, yeah.
Well, after this fight, there might be a 0 replacing all of it. Who knows? Especially if Emma's not saving you.
Gotta protect that magic horse, though, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no way to bring that back again later.
And she got 3 of those from a token.
Emma just and she just takes a little lick of fire and then like shoots it down at the ground, casting spiritual weapon. And so a grandiose scythe forms from the ground, and on this scythe there's just a bunch of little rockets, and they look like little cherubs, so they're just like all holding onto the scythe and looking all cute and adorable, especially the one up on the top that looks like maybe like one of your French girls kind of look. So gonna summon that and take a nice swing at this orc lady.
So, for your information, there's the orc woman who stands 10 feet away with the spear, and then there are the 3 men with rapiers and shields about 15 feet away from you on all the other sides. So the woman stands to the north, a person each to the east, west, south of you with rapiers and shields. So there is the woman who's 10 feet away. You can have your spiritual weapon go up and do that attack if you like.
Yeah. That's where I would like that.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll to hit.
That's gonna be a 13 plus 7, so 20.
Definitely hits.
Huzzah! 1d8 plus 4, so 5 plus 4, so 9.
Okay.
9 force damage.
As she pulls the spear back and away, the scythe with many little cherubs and puppet figures riding atop it, you can hear wee in your head, though nobody else can hear a wee, as it slices into the woman, dealing 9 damage. She pulls back before getting her spear ready to lunge back at you. You have other spells if you'd like.
Yes. Can I use a free action to tell Winter to get away from me?
Yeah.
In the nicest of ways. I have a reason. I don't want to kill you.
Thank you. How
Get the hell outta
considerate this
here.
time.
Yes. And then who looks the most intimidating? Is it the orc
Her.
lady I just
Her.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll cast Bane on her.
Okay. As what's the say or wisdom save?
Charisma. She
Bane
doesn't
is
look
on
very
like 4
charismatic.
people, isn't it? You could bane all of them.
Okay, up
Yeah,
to
you could.
3 creatures of my choice. So 3 of them, but mainly her.
Okay. So we'll do the east, west, and then her to the
Yeah.
north. That is. So the 2 men with the rapiers and shields, they kind of cower behind their shields a little bit now, afraid of the scythe that has just appeared. However, as the scythe goes in for a second hit, you try and intimidate it down. She grabs the scythe with her other hand and throws it to the ground briefly before holding her spear ready to lunge in, as the bane doesn't seem to affect her.
Okay. That's it.
Uh,
I just sit there on steed.
On their turn, and it's the D4 minus 2 hits, correct, for Bane? I
Correct.
want to say. Yeah, okay.
On attack rolls and saving throws.
They all approach you. She, however, still stays 10 feet away with the reach of her spear, and she's going to make 2 slices into Emma, now thinking that Emma is the threat. And that's going to be 1 hit for 4, again, lowest roll possible, piercing damage against you. She takes the spear 1. Steed rears back, and she's afraid to hit Steed before she takes the side of it and just whacks into you with the blade of the spear, doing 4 damage. One of the rapiers and shield rushes towards you, makes 1 lunge. You're just so high up, as soon as Steed moves back, they're afraid they're going to hit the horse, and finding a horse out here is a rare commodity, so they don't want to hurt Steed. However, Winter, the other 2 approach and attack you. One of them has
Of course they do.
Bane. You still have shield up, and with your shield up and the Bane mattered. You just kind of huddle down in a ball there for a moment as your necrotic energy bellows outwards, flinging their rapiers back and away, giving you an opportunity to... Your turn.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna move my hands and generate some green energy pointed towards the one closest. Oh no, towards the bitch that stabbed me.
What was
That
that?
was really rude. The one that poked me.
Ah, yes, of course. She is 10 feet away, just FYI. I don't know if that matters for your spell.
That's totally fine.
Cool.
And she's gonna make a wisdom save for me as green energy shoots from my fingers towards her.
Go ahead and tell me what spell you're doing.
I'm doing Toll the Dead.
As she holds the scythe down, a blast of green energy flies towards her. She then immediately slams onto the ground to kick the scythe up, almost like a hoe in the ground, like from a cartoon, causing the blade of the scythe to send the fire flying offwards as she nat 20s the save. She's not very wise, but nat 20 is good. Some of your
I think like
minions will be flying.
little like bells ring out, but they're just like they just sound pretty. Sick one. All right, I guess I'll just stand here and get dead.
Good.
Well, you moved 10 feet away from me, right? Right?
What did you say? You said move.
I said get away from me.
Okay. You go to protect your horse, then you say get away from me. Awesome. If I move away from these people, they're gonna get opportunity attacks, correct?
You can imagine that they might get a strike.
Yeah. Super duper. I'm gonna yell back, you get away from me.
Fair.
Exy, I like the bonding we've done today. I bet you all of our other party members are getting along swimmingly. We've worked so hard to get close during this dark, dark time, and I think it's just brought us closer.
Affirmative, though I do not think there will be much swimming in this deserty area.
I'm gonna stand right here, and if you want to be a bitch, you can be a bitch over there.
Oh, Exy, watch out for that puddle right there. Stand closer to me. It's okay. You don't want to step in that.
Come here, friend. You just look like you need a hug.
Do you want to borrow $5 at that vending machine, Exy? I got you.
Exy's just like, that's my cousin. As before your turn starts, Emma. Before your turn starts, Emma, you're surrounded by the 4 of them, save the small space between the orc with the spear in front of you. However, with one of the ones that you've baned, you see and hear on top of your horse. Winter, you're on the other side, so you don't know what goes on, but you do see a flash of blue light. As Emma, you see one of the rapiers and shields, you see an arrow appear right in their right shoulder, and a flash of blue light fills your vision as you see 2 of the man standing there with the rapier and the shield next to each other. One, a ghostly, spectral vision of the other as they stop and look at each other, fear in their eyes. Another arrow flies and lands just between them on the ground as they quickly turn and look to the side. You can see somewhere in the distance, maybe about 100 feet away from you, on the ground, not prone, but like sitting down, you see another arrow being knocked in a shadowy figure's bow. Emma,
But do we see piercing brown eyes?
roll me a perception.
I feel the gaze of piercing brown eyes. Fuck yeah, I rolled good on that one. Not natural 20. I'm like, is that fan fiction writing itself?
Emma, roll me a perception.
Oh
my,
lord.
my thirsty senses are tingling.
Perception +4, so a 16.
16. Emma, you see the figure. However, Winter, how could you not see the reflection of such piercing brown eyes as the sun hits them at just the right light? Other than that, it looks like a black silhouette. However, you see what was described to you, and you immediately get exactly what was going on, and you feel that your pen did not give it justice on the page.
I have to rewrite everything.
Emma, it is your go.
This has been such chaos. Friends. And Emma is going to you know what? This female orc, I don't like her. I don't like her very much. And I'm gonna use a guiding bolt against her.
Do it.
The spell looks real cool. Yeah, I think that's gonna hit. 16 plus 7
Definitely
I'm pretty
hits.
sure will probably hit. So this black beam just shoots out from Emma with like green little specks around it and smacks her for, where's my box with all my d6? All right, 1 2 3 4 5. And
We're doing it at second level.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, 6, 12, 18. And then plus 3, so 21, 24.
Okay.
Black radiant energy, which doesn't make sense, but hey.
As the bolt of blackness flies towards the orc, she holds her spear up as if to block it, but it seems to part right before, hitting her in both shoulders. And you can hear bone break as it slams into her so forcefully. She still holding up, but her arms are kind of holding loosely onto the spear. She's not doing too hot.
Winter, hit that one.
As
Well,
she
I appreciate
glows
that
with
you
this
didn't hit me.
dark energy now.
Something new and different for us.
Oh my god, Verity, though. Since Verity has spoken, I definitely want to see exclamation Verity in chat. What if Winter catches feels while her bestie is imprisoned? Days of our Asterian lives.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
that was just too good. Has been spoken. Yeah, you still have your bonus action, Emma.
I do have a bonus action. But I don't know. I'm just gonna I'm gonna oh yeah, duh, I'm an idiot. Thanks guys. I don't play clerics often. So spiritual weapon attack.
Okay, at advantage on her, because guiding bolt.
Well, that's an 18, so maybe nat 20? No, that was a 3. So yeah.
So I shouldn't hit her now? That's what I'm hearing.
That's 18 plus 7. But hit her anyway, because, you know, why not? And that's 8, so 12 force damage.
Okay. As the scythe, you again hear from your little figures as they slice in. Winter, you hear nothing but the slicing of the blade into the orc's flesh as she's a cleric? Lucid Lemon. As the scythe slices across her chest, she's barely holding up. She holds the spear and kind of takes a step back. I don't think you have anything else unless you want to move. Winter did ask.
You know what? I'll try and guide Steed away for a little bit if I can.
Cool.
But I'm not getting off Steed.
Which direction are you heading?
Away from Winter.
So northeast, south, or west?
So
Okay. Are you trying to get out of this group, basically?
well, I just want to get out of the way so if I happen to, summon, ethereal skeletal arms, I don't murder our wizard.
Cool. You go to the south side, so you take 3 attacks of opportunities from the orc woman and the eastern and western side, but not the southern one. So
Okay.
it's going to be 2 hits. The one with the spectral version of itself is too afraid to do anything. However, the western one makes a lunge and stabs right inside of your rib cage. It doesn't do anything, but pulling the rapier out does create an almost like sawing motion against your bone, dealing low rolls on damage. 5 piercing damage to you as the spear goes down for a whack against you, dealing 7 piercing damage.
Rude.
As you move to the southern side. It goes to be their turn. As not only arrows are raining down upon them, the orc woman is not doing too hot. She, in the spectral version, man, from the west or eastern side, run. They head immediately off and to the west. Winter, you would be able to get an attack of opportunity against them if you'd like.
A little cut.
Yeah, go for it. You can't do it on the orc woman, but you can do it on the one who has a almost spectral-like version of himself.
Wait.
Nope. That one.
That one.
Never mind.
Okay.
That's the fourth. That's the fourth today,
Good.
by the way.
As the orc woman and the man go running off to the west, you notice the ghostly vision of the eastern man still stands there, seemingly unable to follow or move. As it's going to go to the others. The western one holds his ground and is going to attack Winter. Does not hit. Winter, as you make a slash, in doing so and falling down into the dirt, it actually causes you to be missed by the rapier plunge. So as you get up, you quickly brush the mud off as you look back around, hoping nobody saw that. However, there's nothing else to see. They definitely saw it. But the southern one does attack Emma. That is a hit for... Man. Oh, no. Okay, that's different. 10 piercing damage, Emma. And it's going to go to your turn, Winter.
So how many are there? Still 2 in range or just 1?
So there are 2. There is the western one and the southern one, and then there's also the ghostly version of the one.
I'm going to again move green energy from inside of my palm back and forth and create a hand that's going to reach out and suck into the one on the west, casting Vampiric Touch.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
So-
Or do I need to roll, or are you rolling for hit?
No, I roll. Flip. 13. I love that for me.
13 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You reach your hand out forward. Seemingly green energy like claws go from your hand as you go to grab the man's throat. However, he pulls his shield up just in time, knocking your hand away. It actually hurts as he does so. You're like, "Oh, you're supposed to let me do that. This what all my training let me do that." As you're unable.
All
to
of the
connect.
dummies that I trained on just let me suck the non-existent life out of their bodies.
You still have a bonus action.
I swear I'm good, you guys. The dice are bad. It's my turn.
Okay. As you go to... As you pull away, angry, unable to connect, the ghostly vision of the one disappears, and 2 more shots are fired towards the 2 running away. Both arrows connecting. As the orcish woman gets shot with her arrow, nothing appears. She simply falls down to the ground, not seemingly doing too hot. The other one, a shot fires and it hits him. Same thing. As both arrows fly into the back of them, hitting them seemingly somewhere near the spine, they just fall flat to the ground. You can hear their bodies hit the dust nearby. As it goes back up to Emma.
Okay, so I'm at least 15 feet away from Winter, correct? At least.
You are 10 feet away from Winter. You can move a little further if you'd like.
I need to at least get
Okay. You go
15 feet away.
You go ahead and move away, and you are attacked once by the southern one for opportunity for 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay. And now there are two still within my 10-foot range, correct? Right? Am I right?
Southwest. You could finagle it. I'll let you angle it. Yeah. For sake of cool.
Okay. Ah! And Emma's gonna bring out some beautiful, beautiful arms of miracle.
Go ahead. And do I need to make saves? Forget.
With that, I believe so. Yes, it's a strength save.
Okay. As the arms reach out, Winter, you shiver for a moment as you see them once again fly out from behind Emma. A dozen green spectral arms go to reach towards these men, pulling them and their life force directly out of them. One of them is able to use his shield to kind of block the arms from making it through. The southern one, who has basically had his eye on you, trying to take you out, Emma. But the western one is not so lucky.
So that's going to be 14.
14 damage?
14 necrotic, and then 7 to the guy that succeeded.
Okay. The guy that succeeded is still doing okay. However, the 14, as your claws drag into his flesh, trying to pull him out and downwards, you can see the leathers themselves on the armor gets ripped and scraped like the Jurassic Park 3 logo across its arm as blood begins to pour out of their right arm. They're not doing too hot.
Bonus action is my scythe near
You can move it 20 feet, so yeah, you could
okay,
attack one.
so yeah, I'm gonna move it and then try and get an attack because I know Orc Lady
On
ran
the
off.
hurt one?
Yes,
Okay, go
on
for
that
it.
one. So that's gonna only be a 15 to hit.
Doesn't quite make it. So you hear as he holds his spear up one more time as the scythe comes down, blocking the damage. They seem to be pretty good at what they do and are used to fighting this sort of spectral nature that otherwise you've been very good at surprising people with in the past. So they're used to fighting undead like you.
Winter, I got you to move so I didn't hurt you.
Appreciate it.
As it does go to their turn, they are all about self-preservation. However, they begin booking it just like the others do. So the two of them leave. Winter, you could make an attack of opportunity again if you'd like on the two of them. Or on one of them. No, okay. They run off to the west as quickly as they can, stumbling as they do so. They dash to get as far away as possible, so they're like 80 feet away. Winter, it is your go. Do you let them leave?
I think that we should. I'm not feeling too crash hot, Emma. I think that we should just let bygones be bygones. Plus, did you see who's here? Don't look now.
If you say,
look.
Do you see who's here? Don't look, but look. You turn and look. As you say, let bygones be bygones, you see two other arrows fly from the bow.
Perfect, because Emma's pointing it when it goes to her turn.
Yeah, the arrows fly. Only one of them deals the killing blow, though. The one that you hurt from the western side falls to the ground. The southern one, as the arrow hits him, he keeps running. However, there's a spectral version of him where the arrow hit him that seems to remain in place. Emma, sure, go.
Firebolt, as she's saying we should let bygones be bygones. Emma goes, oh, as she's already let out the firebolt.
Whoops, as it magically hones in.
All right, so is that a +6? So 19 + 6, I assume, is gonna hit.
Definitely hits.
I want to do camera for this. That's 0 and an 8, so that's 18 fire damage as this green flame rockets.
As he kind of stumbles from the arrow in his side, he goes to pull it out, and as soon as he pulls the arrow out, fire finds the same hole and connects from one kidney right over to the other. No donor out of this guy, as he quickly falls and somersaults into the ground and kind of turns into a slump as his head now lays in his lap. There is nobody else here. To
Emma
attack you.
points, says, sorry, they were kind of dicks, though. I thought they were being nice, but apparently not.
I mean, honestly, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of trying to do magic and it not working properly, and also of both my enemy and friends using me as a meat bag.
Yeah. Pat, 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 and Emma's gonna do
Ow.
cure wounds. Second level. The last second level spell I got. So that's D8. 5, 4, so 9 plus 4, so 11.
11. Winter.
Wait, that's not right. 9 plus. Yeah, no,
No,
yeah.
that's 13.
No, 13. I can't math. You know this.
9 plus 4 dash 11. Alex already has it covered. As Winter, Emma pats into your wound, and at first the bony hand kind of hurts, but then it immediately singes and begins to feel warm against your flesh as a green flame similar to yours floats upwards and away, causing all of the gook from when you fell down onto the ground with your attack of opportunity to move out of the way, curing and cleansing the wound.
Thank you. I think you've remembered now, but just like a quick reminder that I am not actually, although enthusiastic about it, dead.
It does confuse me sometimes.
Yes. And while I don't mind dying, I prefer that it's done swiftly and with some kind of ritual that means that I don't just stay dead. So I really appreciate the forewarning before you cast all of those horrific hands on me like you did earlier. We're growing.
We should do it this way in the future. If we are about to fight someone, we should separate.
Yes. But then you shouldn't stand near them.
True.
As the two of you lock eyes and continue talking with each other, you hear footsteps approach in a kind of hurried manner as a man clad in all black with a coat and a hood over with a mask covering up to his nose rushes over and pulls one of the arrows out of the bodies. Says, "What are you doing? We need to get out of here."
Oh. Why?
As we'll go to Ordell and XC. The two of you have walked through the city streets for some time. For what windows were not immediately closed with shutters, curtains from inside blot out any light. Everyone is trying their best not to be seen. However, the further you go up the street to the west, the more fire and smoke begins to fill your nostril. Ordell, XC, you see it. As you go further down the streets, you see people with water beginning to push it out. Some of them just sitting on the edge next to one of the horse troughs, not wanting to waste the water and just kind of given up on this. Not like they can't do anything. The fire is just too raged and out of control. Those who are continuing to throw water on it seem to do so more out of fear rather than a need or desire to put this fire out. I'd say you're maybe about 40 feet away from this building right now. No one seems to stop or give you any mind as you approach, as they're currently focused on the flames.
How big is this building?
It's a 3-story building. It's maybe about 60 feet wide, 40 feet tall.
Based on the sound, like we can hear crackling flame, people moving. Does it sound like there's any people inside the building?
Roll a perception for me if you'd like.
16 plus 4, dirty 20.
As you kind of listen to the crackling bits, there doesn't appear to be anybody inside, or at least there doesn't appear to be anybody alive inside.
Good job.
I do not believe there is anyone left inside.
I assume something similar. I found this key on Tattage, and I had assumed it would open something here, but running to that fire would be very foolish.
It may cause damage to your flesh bag.
That it would. I'm gonna examine the key. Is there any like label or anything, key ring or something that like, indicates, or is this just a bare key?
Roll an investigation for me.
Bear key.
Ooh, the hummingbird, nat 20.
Nat 20. As you take a look at this key is very strange in its making. It has a curved, the actual key part of it is curved and almost curled inwards, and it has runes that go up the length of the key that seem to be written in Dwarvish. Which do you speak?
Common giant orc.
Common giant orc. There's something written in Dwarvish along the key, and the head of it
Allow
is
me
one
to
big
translate.
kind of Celtic symbol.
Ooh, I showed to XC if he can understand it.
I was made by dwarves.
Oh
XC,
yes, I believe you
It's
mentioned
a
that.
ward.
you take a look at the key. It says, along the length of it, it says, "A trick key for a mighty trickster."
I translate. Do you know any mighty tricksters?
No, but
Neither do I.
when Buddy was fighting me, was it the dagger he was slashing through the air, or did he have something else in his hand when he made like the little riffs?
He was slashing the dagger through the air.
Okay, because I was like, if this key just like opens portals and stuff, that's rad. But a trick key for a mighty trickster. Well, I'm not sure what this would open, so let's hold on
Most
to it for
likely a
now.
lock.
But what does the lock contain behind it?
Unable to provide information. Not enough
Yeah.
data.
Exactly. I think waiting around here might be not the best course of action. I think we should find our compatriots. Unless do you see something fit in staying here, XC?
Finding compatriots most likely caused this. Analyzing based on previous actions, they would most likely not be here anymore.
Let's head back to the tray for now.
Affirmative.
Yeah, we're gonna walk through the streets.
Going
just trying to
back
think.
towards the southern wall that you all created your own doorway through.
Yeah,
It is
essentially.
the most logical way.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
basically, because that's the place where everyone would be coming away from, especially like the fire and stuff. So yeah, that's the way to go.
As you're walking back towards the southern, so going eastward from your direction here, you hear the fire burning off to the side. You walk for a few minutes just at a leisurely pace, heading back down towards the south. When you get to where you can see some of the buildings that you were atop originally firing from, XC, all of the doors are still closed. Looking upwards towards the path that you went before, there seems to be a very small gathering of raiders that are there, kind of regrouping from what happened before, maybe about a dozen or so in that marketplace where you were. That is about a quarter mile off from where you're at, but you can start to see armor and those people gathered in that direction. You also, both without need for perception, hear a horn coming from the east. Both of you recognize this horn. It is a horn that you heard before they exited the gates and met you down where you found those original bodies and met the older man.
There's a lot going on.
Confirmed.
Well, it's not my day, so I guess it's up to Ashrin whether we stay here.
That may be difficult to understand without Ashrin.
Well, we'll go find Ashrin. I'm assuming we'll be looking for the horse, and Ashrin, Winter, and Emma are likely all together. As I mean, they all get along swimmingly, so why would they leave one another? As our dog keeps walking.
Question, do you come from a land with lots of water?
Ordell kind of pauses. No. All of my memories I see fire. Whatever that means. So the opposite of water. Why do you ask?
That sounds illogical. You mention large bodies of water or actions in large bodies of water multiple times in our conversations.
Where I'm from, I've seen... How do I explain this?
I do need to pause from you there. Are you still standing in that crossroads deciding to go further south, east, or up to the northern market, or are you going
We've been
out?
just walking south.
Okay, so now you're going to head out and towards the hill, correct?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Yep.
So this is happening. You're having this conversation as you're going through that small alleyway where you originally entered the town and heading towards that door. It won't take you very long before you're going to get to the base of the hill.
Perfect.
When I think back on life, unlife, I can't remember when. My earliest memories are of places with lakes of fire and large vessels and things that cross them. But more recent memories, I have been on water, on boats. But I don't know where those boats are.
Were you able to swim in those lakes of fire?
I saw people that could. I don't know why I remember that. But I don't think I did. At least I can't remember doing such.
Comments are now no longer illogical. Thank you.
What of you, XC? In your oldest memories, what do you see?
Sort of has a little bit of a spark. Missions, death, targets, accomplishment, powered down.
As the two of you walk now at the base of the hill, you see the trees up at the top. And at this base of the hill, you see 3 bodies, maybe about 30 feet away from you, with multiple black arrows sticking out of their back.
As XC and Ordell walks, Ordell like kind of stops. More and more I realize we are very similar. I'm glad to have found you, XC. And then Ordell's gonna inspect these bodies.
Go and roll me an investigation. Are you trying to loot or more just inspect?
Well, a 1, so probably neither.
You walk over to look at the arrows on one, and in doing so, step on the backs of 2 of them to lean down. As you do so, blood begins to spurt out quickly from these bodies. They were killed recently. Even with the 1, that is very easy to tell. You can even hear some last bits of air and groans coming out of the 2 that you stand upon.
I was just about to say, that is a rock. The body is here.
Sorry, I was thinking about things. Ordell's gonna just kind of shake his head. Can I see, like, giving a quick scan? I can't see.
If you want to roll
the
perception,
other
you
2?
could.
Nope, don't see them. They don't
These-
even exist, I don't think. 2 nat ones in a row. Let's go.
Since I've done a lot of looking at the arrow previously, because I was given the arrow, can I easily identify these are the same arrows?
No problems at all, either of you.
These arrows are from that archer. And then, if you want me to roll, I'll do a roll anyway.
Yeah, if you want to take a look around, you can.
I've rolled a 15 plus Investigation's 19. They were fired from a long distance, not close range.
Are you doing a perception to look around or an investigation of the bodies?
Investigation to see if I can tell they were fired from a long distance.
Gotcha. Yes, absolutely. They were fired from
picking
a
it
long
up.
range. From this, where these arrows are on their back and the way these bodies have fallen down, you also seem to tell that they came from the top of the hill, from the height and angle that they hit into these bodies.
Most likely location of sniper would be in this direction.
Then let's keep going. Let's collect as many as arrows as we can. I'm assuming these are quite the commodity to our archer friend.
I go down and pick up all the arrows.
Okay.
What else
Go
gonna
ahead
do
and
the
roll
same?
me sleight of hand for both of you.
Oh my gosh.
Nat 20.
8.
Nat 20. Okay.
23.
XC, you are able to recover 4 arrows. Ordell, your strength simply breaks a few of them, and you're only able to recover 1 of them.
Okay. I give the other arrow to Exy, just in case we don't find the archer.
Okay.
So look at it. Okay.
You grab 5 black arrows and add them to your inventory. As the two of you now stand outside of the southern gate, just with your passive perception, you can hear what sounds to be almost like a stampede of animals. You can see that raiding group that you saw before with the large kind of undead wolf-like creatures and horses and the men atop them run by from east to west, heading towards Tattage's place that you saw, or from the open hole that you've created in the fence. They didn't seem to stop for you. They may or may not have noticed you. You weren't trying to hide, but they are headed towards Tattage's place.
I suppose with the throne open, someone wants to claim their seat.
They seem to be
Interesting.
doing that in a hurry.
That they are. I mean, it was a good shot, so... Well, let's keep looking.
Just performing my duties.
As the two of you stand there, Winter and Emma, you say, "Why?" The Black Archer turns and looks towards. There could be more coming as he pulls an arrow quickly back from the bow in reaction to the 2 figures that walk out from the southern hole. Immediately, you're able to spot that those are your friends, purely based on height and the glimmering shine of XC. They seem to be walking calmly for all the chaos that you heard and saw go on in the town. As they look down at some of the bodies, they're just... We need to get your friends and get out of here very quickly.
It's them.
Okay. Go get them.
There, Emma points with the rapier.
I got that, but you're missing a friend. Where is the Crimson Elf?
Oh, she's in here.
He looks at the ring entirely. I'll ask about that later.
Me too, my dude. I don't know. Do we go towards the town? Do you have like a little house, maybe somewhere we can have tea?
I have a small cove here to the west of the town where I keep watch. We can hide there at least for the night and then leave in the morning. Let us get your friends and leave quickly. You will be hunted.
Oh, okay. I point my. How far away are they now?
They're about 300 feet from your location.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of walk towards them, and when we get in range, use message.
Ordell
to
XC,
say.
as the stampede runs by, you hear.
Hi, Ordell. So we're here with the Black Archer. Hi, I'm in your head. If you just want to just walk briskly, or you could run if you like. He seems a little stressed. You good?
Let's make haste, Ordell says very loud, not sure how message works. And then, Ordell's going to jog with Exy up the hill.
And then Emma's gonna point at Ordell and cast message and say, "We made friends."
As
This is
Winter
the
and
first
Emma...
time-
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
This is the first time you're going to see XC move quicker than a briskish walk. As you begin to run, Ordell, you hear a little bit of whirling happen as the configuration of Xy's legs change ever so slightly. The hips move forward and the chest and torso section move back slightly, almost forming a weirdish angle as Xy starts to accelerate, and the legs kind of resemble something more like some kind of bird in the positions they're at.
Cool.
Though the description is cool, Ordell does say that you two begin running up the hill as Winter and Emma go, no, this way, via message, as the two of you begin running fast, but in the wrong direction up the hill, as Winter and Emma have to correct your course. So you do run downhill, which allows you to go even faster for a moment as Ordell jogs XC now, very much like a bird with the kind of weird backwards legs, able to very much ostrich itself, going fast following Ordell. Ordell and XC, you see Winter and Emma next to Steed, Emma on top of Steed, and you see a black cloaked figure standing nearby, putting some of the arrows, kind of cleaning them off and adding it to a quiver on its back.
I throw the remnants of Buddy's like metal head at the Black Archer's feet.
Oh, so he was in the house.
No, he was brained by XC, and I sparred with him. XC did most of the work.
If it makes you feel better, Winter, I'm sure you killed a lot of people.
I saw
Yes, there
both
was-
of what you did, both of them questionable techniques, but we can talk about them in a moment. As he reaches down to grab the skull cap that you throw at his feet. Thank you. Follow me. Before he throws the skull cap into his pouch on the side and begins a kind of fast jog towards the southwest.
Onward, Steed.
Question, because I as a player didn't think of it at the time. But could, when I was looting, Buddy like have taken his arm for XE? Because I like Jakey
You
didn't
rolled a
think of it, but I
really
feel
high
like
investigation, so I'll say that you could have done that if you would have liked.
okay, cool. Yeah, I will have that in my bag then. Just basically whatever like metal components on him that I was like, oh, my sweet boy could use some upgrades.
The easiest one would have been the skull cap and the arm pulling off. So everything else will leave.
Done and
But
done.
you could grab the cap and the arm. But you just throw the cap towards the Black Archer then.
Yeah, because that's what I figured he'd want.
The archer kind of quickly, seemingly able to move at a very fast pace through this kind of wasteland, guiding you all through this kind of pathway that he seems to know. Exie?
So I'm gathering if we're all running. XC will stop for a second before everyone starts running. Look to Winter. Do you require transportation? And then arms sort of fold down, ready for her to jump on top of it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. And she like kind of sits side.
I am not going to say no. That is multiple negatives. Are you sure?
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Yes. And sit like side saddle with my dress neatly folded.
With XC's hips being pushed forward and his torso pulled back, it's almost like sitting on a very thin chair with the arms out, sitting side where like your foot is over one like arm of the chair and your arms are raised over the backside as you're picked up by XC, and a quick motion as XC attempts to catch up to Steed and Ordell, who are able to move quite quickly out here.
How far in front is the Black Archer?
He's not staying too far in front, mostly because Ordell and Steed are pretty fast, as well as XC in this kind of mechanical form. But he's still pretty quick. He's maybe about 10 feet in front of you. You're all kind of letting him as you're following where he's leading you.
Is he wearing gloves?
He is.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. As
While we're
Come
running,
back to
because
that.
Emma's probably straggling, I grab Emma by the top of the head.
Oh,
like
I'm
no,
on,
no,
visual-
she's on Steed.
I'm on Steed.
Oh, you're on Steed. Okay, because
Yeah.
Ordell was just gonna like throw you on. Okay, cool. Then yeah, Ordell's just like.
Yeah, Ordell can.
Emma is very majestic right now, just like, yes.
Ordell, being a barbarian, can kind of do an easy jog up next
On your
to all of
left.
this. Yeah, basically. As all of you rush this direction, You go for what seems to be about half a mile before these kind of small little rolling hills here that almost look like mounds. All of them seem to have no marking or indication between each other. However, the Black Archer stops at one of them and gets to his knees, and he kind of throws off some of the dust and dirt on the side before picking up a small bit of dead trees that kind of create a little latch there as the dust pulls up and off, as he has this kind of covering on this hole, and throws it to the side before he says, "Come in. The horse can fit too. It'll just have to lie down."
Okay.
As you look from the outside of it, it is essentially a small bunker that seems to have been dug out into this hole. It's maybe about 8 feet tall and maybe about 10 feet wide. The horse could stand up in there, but if it did so, it would have a rough time. So it kind of looks at the entrance and looks back towards Ordell with its eyes in all sorts of directions, questioning if you want it to go in there.
I'll carry because Ordell's carrying weight is absurd. So I'm going to like help the horse in and just like carry the horse like kind of so it's like lower.
Is your carrying weight like a 1-ton animal?
I mean, let's see. I'm gonna check that right now.
Mine is not, in case anyone was wondering.
It's times. Okay, it's about half of it for if I fully lift it. So, but I can move it.
Yeah, you can push it down.
So I'm gonna
no
help
problem.
I'm gonna help brace it and whatnot then. But
Gotcha.
I can't fully just be like baby carry it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you're not a bear totem barbarian.
When I am though.
You take a whole separate level just to get the base bear barbarian stuff. As Emma, you hop off the horse because you'd have to be able to get in there anyway. Do all of you go inside this little kind of dirt bunker?
Oh, so fast. Like, so fast.
Winter, you hop off of XC and slide down, and it's kind of a little ramp that goes down into the bunker itself. It's more inset into the ground than this mound would leave it to believe. And as you get in there, XC, you were going to say something before I describe.
Just gonna say I'd definitely be the last one in, keeping a watch on the outside.
Okay. As you get in there, you see this mound appears to be man-made to kind of mimic the other ones. There are dead trees in a kind of dome-like pattern with some old dead bushes kind of creating a layer holding the dirt up onto the top, like somebody would have built a hut into the ground back then, almost like an ice chest type hut. And so as you get in there, there's enough room with the horse to kind of kneel and crawl down in there. Horses can do that. It's not a real problem. Before XC, the Black Archer, says, "I'll be right back, making sure no one can follow us. Go in if you'd like. If not, I will return."
Overwatch protocols activated.
The archer kind of nods its head, pulls the cloak over further, and keeps low to the ground before running back over. He grabs a small dead branch off to the side and begins trying to wipe up your tracks as all of you are rushing off in this direction. So he leaves back the way you came, trying to do his best to get rid of all footsteps and tracks as you go. You're left for a moment. The three, Emma, Winter, Ordell, inside of the hut with the horse as XC stands outside, just head barely up and over the mound enough to be able to look and watch as the archer covers up the tracks and traces from where you all were.
May I roll to snoop?
Yeah, if you'd like to go out and take a look.
No.
In the little hut here.
In the hut.
Yeah.
I would
Go ahead.
like to.
Roll
I'd like to
investigation.
polish up the gem and kind of hold it as I like look around and see what's inside.
Absolutely.
Investigation. That's gonna be 17.
17. There are a couple of things in here. There are a few pieces of split wood, a small stone circle as if where a fire might be able to be placed within here, if the door was open to where, fire could escape out of here without kind of smoking it out. There are also 2 cordon of arrows here off to the side, and a small leather kind of satchel, or what would almost be like a purse-like thing, or a messenger bag that would go over the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Emma, should I look in the bag?
I don't see
And
why not.
I point to the bag. Would it be rude to look in the bag?
Well, I mean, yes, but do it anyway.
I mean, I want to. I want to look in the bag.
Nothing's stopping you.
Ash, if you don't think I should look in the bag, say something now.
You look
See?
at the ring.
It's meant to be.
Okay.
Nothing's stopping you.
I'm gonna very carefully look in the bag.
Go ahead and roll me one more investigation.
17 again.
17. On some of the side pouches, there seem to be some pre-forged arrowheads, as well as a couple of almost like bundles of feathers, as if this is for making arrows, this little satchel here. There are also 3 vials of some unknown liquid on one side, one of it clear, 2 of it red, and a small book seemed to be bound in leather on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I like to imagine that Emma's looking over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Emma, I found a book.
You should read it.
I should read it.
Books are great. Books contain knowledge, and knowledge is great.
Ordell, you see and hear all of this. There is no way that this whisper cannot be heard at this point.
Ordell leans over Winter's shoulder, immediately on the other side.
It's Angel and the Devil.
Someone has welcomed us into their home. We will look with our eyes, but we will not touch.
I generally read with my eyes. I don't.
Winter,
This is true. This is what eyes do.
I have several broken ribs, and I am bleeding from many orifices. I do not have the patience for this right now. Do not piss off the person helping us, please.
Ordell, and Emma's
You have,
gonna
one
take
health back.
Ordell's head and turn it towards her, away from Winter, and cast Cure Wounds. Let me take care of this, and then leans over to Winter as she's casting a book.
If this is a distraction, I will do that thing again. I will take my finger in the fire. I'll do it again.
Oh no!
As you say this, you do also kind of go, oh, as it does heal you a little bit.
8 points of healing.
I try and look at the book and will it to open with my eyes.
But you don't touch it?
No.
Okay. You look at it just hoping some force, whether it's wind or a small mouse, might cause this book to flip open to where you could see the innermost thoughts of the pages.
Yeah.
As Ordell is healed, you see his eyes close briefly before Emma finishes up, and Ordell looks over at you, eyeing the book but not opening it. As XC, you begin to see the Black Archer running back and returning to your position. As it is 8:03, seems like a decent spot to pause for just a moment. We'll come back at 8:10. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you enter for the mystery token raffle. As soon as we come back from the giveaway, we're going to give that raffle away and then continue from there, and we will do the Himgo Rainbow Metal Dice Dragon. So stay tuned. We will be back in 7 minutes. BRB. Welcome back from the break, everybody. If you haven't entered the giveaway, too late. Go ahead and rock that one for us, Lana, and we'll see who wins the mystery token, because this one could come in handy very, very soon. And Brie has her very invisible baby that she brings out here for her inspo. She's so cute. Yeah, of course she gets inspiration for that. But also, Magmatoon has won the giveaway. Congratulations. Magmatoon, you have a reroll token. That is inspiration or GFY combined. You can use it on any of my rolls, or you can use it on any player's roll. One reroll you get to reroll to either be inspo or GFY. So you can use it on a bad roll or a good roll, whatever you'd like. You just say, hey, I'm using my reroll for that roll, and do it over again. So it's entirely up to you, and we will change things around whenever it happens. So congrats on the token.
Hey, Ryan,
Alex.
does this let you re-roll a GFY or an inspo?
Yeah, I'd be down for that. So if somebody uses their inspo,
Superpower.
you could definitely use it again there. So it's even more powerful. I'm down for that. Sounds fun. And what also sounds fun is make sure you enter for the Him of the Ghost rainbow metal dice giveaway. But let's continue right where we left off. The Black Archer is heading back in your direction, still kind of staying low to the ground as he approaches Exy. He'll be here in about a minute. As you kind of look over the mound and see him. Ordell, Emma, and Winter are still beneath inside the kind of little cove or dugout that was created with the horse off to one side. It's crowded, but it's not impossible to have all of you in there comfortably. As it approaches, he seems to let go of the branch, leaving it far off from his specific location, so it couldn't even be determined that it would be some sort of tracking manipulation tool, and begins to use his fingers in the dirt as he walks slowly to the ground, just kind of kicking up dirt and throwing it every which way so that there is no trace of his footsteps, even getting rid of the tracks from before. As he approaches the mound, he says, "Get in, go, we're fine here, no one will find us."
Understood. You first.
I have to close the mound.
Close the mound.
Get in the dugout so that I can close the door like I moved before.
From inside.
Yes.
Ordell.
Understood. Okay.
I was gonna say, Ordell, you should totally help Exy get in the mound. Winter, get it.
Emma, like I said, I am not in the mood.
As XC slides down into this small little dugout that he has, he pulls the kind of doorway made out of dead limbs up and covers it with sand again. And he seems to take his hand almost in a scoop-like fashion, pulling up a large bit of sand over the top. And as he closes the door, he pulls it, and you can hear sand rushing down like it would be in the desert, where if you press on part of the sand, it begins to fall. So as soon as he closes the door, the sand kind of covers itself back over this door, hopefully obscuring it. You are all in a large pool of darkness before quickly the archer, a small flame from a tinderbox, lights as he holds the flame up to himself, looking at all of you, throwing it down into the pit. The pit that he has with this stone circle seems to be built down inward to the ground as he goes and grabs some logs off to the side, filling it up. Says, "There should be no smoke here. It comes out in a hole in a tunnel far away. No one would ever find it here. Don't worry about the flames. Are you all right? Some of you," he looks at Ordell, "took quite a beating out there."
I'm fine.
Good. He pulls his hood off. For the first time, you all get to see him without his hood, which we actually have some art of that from our amazing Soul Wesson. So you now see the Black Archer without the hood, his kind of very fanciful esque attire as he takes the cloak and hood off. This kind of raven-like skull attached to the front of his more black and onyx attire. Obviously, no arrows behind him, but very cool art from Soul Wesson either way. As
You
Go ahead.
You have highly reflective brown eyes.
I was just about to say that, XC. You know, Ashrin did not lie about that. You have very piercing brown eyes.
I elbow Emma.
I get that.
How?
I lived in the dark for a long time, so they are quite reflective.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Dark Archer, sir. Thank you for your assistance with
Ritter.
the arrows.
You can call me Ritter.
Ritter. Okay. I
Ritter.
open up my book and write Ritter.
Ritter Ossory. Which, by the way, I'm issuing a little challenge to chat. Ritter Ossory, if you can tell me how I came up with that name exactly, I will give you 5 inspirations to give to any person that you want.
Oh, wow.
So, just as a challenge out there, if you can tell me exactly how I came up with that name, you can get 5 inspirations to give to any player that you want. So, Ritter
XC powering
Ossory.
down and working that out now.
Is there like a deadline on that, or
No, at any point. The first person to figure it out can do it.
is it because it looks like Rita Ora?
No. Good try. But he says, Ritter Ossory. The only other one that I know is Ashran, though I heard your name before, Metalman. XC?
Sorry, I'm.
He's just trying to figure it out.
It's not a bitter rose, is it?
Nope.
Damn it. Anyway, can you re-ask the question?
He didn't actually ask a question, more just confirm that your name was XC.
GB134-XC.
I see why XC is the given name. I didn't ask.
It is shorter and easier to use for biologicals, yes.
He looks at all of you. I didn't ask the Crimson Elf Ashran. Are you all... And he looks over to Winter, risen from... Quizzically, as
Oh.
if you rose them.
Oh, no. So Ash and I are good friends. She's great. And we met these beautiful individuals just before we got escorted completely voluntarily across the wall. But I didn't rise them.
Roll a deception for me.
I mean, it's a half truth.
Then you're rolling a deception for the lie.
It's a 12, but I have stuff to that, I feel. Deception, 12 plus 3, so 15.
As you speak, so I'll assume then that you were sent here as everybody else gets banished to these lands.
Technically, yes. But Ash and I were coming anyway, so it was kind of just like expedited.
Then you're not too different than me. What is your name?
My name's Winter.
And the two of... He looks to Emma and Nordell. Two of you?
Emerald Ghoulcrest. Hello.
Hold on.
Medic, pain in my ass.
Yes, that as well.
Thank you for the descriptor. Hopefully not, but a Ghoulcrest, you say? Born of?
Formed from.
You see some recognition in his eyes, but he doesn't speak up about it. And he looks to you, Ordell, for your name.
Yeah, Ordell's just like kind of leaning against the wall.
My name is Ordell. I'm going to rest.
And I'm going to start long resting because Ordell is not doing so hot.
Ordell kind of
Ordell
turns
does the
over
dad
and-
sleep.
Yeah, it just almost powers down more than XC does at this point.
Can I tell if he is alive? Or
You
is
can-
this...
You can't see much of his features except for the upper half of his head, but you could roll an Arcana if you'd like.
I'd love to.
Everyone keeps saying, is it terrorist? No, it's not terrorist.
That's an 18.
18. You see life behind his eyes, so you're certain that he's not anything like Emma. However, you see life behind Ordell's eyes. He could be something like Ordell, but you can't really tell. You'd have to see more of him.
Mhm.
Well, since you've asked of us, let me ask of you, are you undead?
I'm not. I am human.
Huh.
What brought you here?
That's like you. I was supposed to come, but I'm here of my own will as well. I've stayed here for my own will. But I had a deal with your friend Ashrin, the elf. I will help you in these lands for you, as he holds up the skull cap of Tattage. Have helped me greatly. The bastard wouldn't leave the town, nor would he leave his home unless he felt comfortable or safe. I couldn't get a shot on him, though I had taken his arm before. Couldn't get the killing blow.
A shot is quite easy to take if you are in an elevated position.
The highest place I
Also-
could get was that hill without their dogs smelling me. They're familiar with my scent.
The house is less than erect now.
I saw from the hill. I don't know what
Was
to say
that part
about
of the
that.
brief?
I thought that you would get in and get out. I was watching from the hill the entire time. I could see you nearly stepped on me climbing up the tree, but just chose not to move.
Nearly is calculated.
Appreciated then.
Do you often travel with anyone else? Do you maybe is there a Mrs. Archer that you might be hiding behind other trees?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
21.
21. I'm out here in the lands alone.
Oh, well, Ashrin will be very glad to hear that.
I elbow Emma again.
He raises his eyes. Would she? Why?
Inside.
He's inciting. He's asking a question. But if you want to incite him, you can.
I do.
I believe it's because of the eyes and the just general aesthetic you have.
Not nat 20.
He seems genuinely concerned as to why somebody would be interested in the fact that he's here alone. He's kind of seems to have been on edge and by himself for a while, so he's a little reserved.
Romantically, I mean, nothing of.
I'm just like pulling as hard as I can this time. Like I'm gonna try and dislodge a rib or something.
Emma, seemingly trying to find more room in here, Steed kicks out, trying to like lay down more flat, and so both with Winter hitting, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh no, so 6. Ow!
She's a little unstable. Don't worry about her.
As he kind of, though he's wearing a mask, you can kind of see his cheekbones rise up, more in like an embarrassment smile. Like you can tell nowadays when somebody smiles when they have a mask on. He just, are you all okay with your wounds?
Sorry, one more time.
He
All I
basically
heard
is trying to push past and change the subject, asking if
okay.
you're okay. That being said, you don't have to let him
Yeah.
change the subject, but he is trying. Also, yeah, I didn't say it before. You do get a point of inspo for Babu.
Thank you.
Little cutie.
Thank you. Yeah. I am feeling a little tapped at the moment. Also, I don't know if my I don't know if my hands work anymore. I used to do this thing where I would have energy come from my hands and then magic would happen. I spent like a lot of years learning it, but apparently today it's just like, no.
Try it on me.
Okay. I cast fireball. No, I don't do that.
Everyone's dead.
Jeez.
I'm gonna cast chill touch on Emma. And I'm gonna try and make some green energy come out and stroke her face. And
As
yep.
Emma, chill touch is a to hit, correct, Winter?
Sure is.
Go ahead and roll to hit. Unless, Emma, you're just letting it happen.
Yeah, no, I'm letting it happen.
Oh,
I'm
I rolled a
trying to build
17.
Winter's confidence.
Go ahead and roll your damage, Winter.
Yay! I finally hit something and it's my friend. And I did 15 points of necrotic damage.
Are you
So,
up
like,
still, Emma?
Emma goes
green-
flying across the mound.
A green ghostly hand comes out and with one fingernail I just scratch along her cheekbone.
As the fingernail scratches, it digs into the bone, and Emma, you can't help but let out just a painful cry as Ritter goes over and grabs your hand and pulls away as if to tell you, stop. It's not soundproof.
Oh, you should have seen what she did to me earlier.
That was like 2 days ago.
Do you all
What?
know each other?
2 days ago. It's like the most an hour and a half.
Fair. That did happen. Mm.
Oh yeah, it's fine. She likes it.
I do. I really enjoy it.
He looks over towards you, XC. Does she like what is going on here? XC,
They are biologicals. It does not compute.
a quick spark flies off from the corner of your circuits in the top left of your head. Is anyone okay in here? As seeing the spark fly from your spark,
Enemies
Emma
detected.
getting hurt.
Enemies detected.
As you say enemies, Steed tries to get up and stand within this small little dugout. Ordell kind of knocking you awake in your attention, and you see XC, eyes now beaming red, yelling enemies detected.
Good God.
Oh
I can't
no.
even sleep. I can't even. Ordell's gonna get over and like stumble over the horse. And basically anyone in the way, Ordell's just gonna like not shove, but do the slide across the ground. And I'm gonna grab XC by the shoulders. We are safe in a bunker. There are no enemies. We are all friends here.
Roll a persuasion at disadvantage.
Fair enough.
Minor, are you sure?
A 4.
XC, a large face looms in front of your eyes. Its eyes beaming bright just like yours, though tinted red as your vision is as well.
Warning! Warning! And my gun goes off in front of me.
Emma's just cackling.
Hold on. How's it go?
Wait, I was. Can I try and disarm XC and basically just like
I would say
hold?
after the shot, sure.
I'm gonna now because I don't want there to be a second.
Let's see. XC, go ahead and roll me a percentile.
Sure.
Yeah. Alzaroth may have it.
94.
94. Okay. Then roll me a d4.
I'll roll Drew's D4. This one's on you, Drew. That's a 4.
Ordell, as you go, we're fine. A sudden bullet flies and embeds itself in your thigh. Go ahead and roll damage for a shot, XC.
Well, that's maximum damage. That's 15.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Ordell is dead.
Are you up?
I'm up. Ordell looks like he is seething right now. So, help me. I will knock sense into you if I have to, XC.
Go ahead and roll to disarm. We're gonna
At
literally
disadvantage, please.
disarm. Or what were you gonna say?
It's got to be at disadvantage because of my.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Disadvantage?
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
connected
what am I
to it.
rolling?
You're having to rip his arm off at this point. So go ahead and we'll have you roll
Oh,
an
then
athletics.
it doesn't he shoots though, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, so my goal is not to my goal isn't to like rip off like his limbs. My goal is to like apprehend him so he can't attack, be it like
okay,
headlock
just
or
like
whatever.
pin him down. Okay, then
Yeah.
you can just roll an athletics regular.
24.
Okay, XC, you can try and roll an opposed strength, or if you're just kind of there, I'll let you decide on your role playing if you're trying to stop this.
I'm definitely going to say that the malfunctions run its course. So I'm going to be like,
As Ordell pins XC to the ground, 1 foot on the arm, both hands on the shoulders. XC, you look straight up as your vision returns to green and yellow.
weapon misfire, weapon misfire.
We're still trying to figure out our dynamic.
You see Ritter with a hand on a knife near his coat. He kind of points to XC, and Winter, you can see he mouths kind of, is this a problem kind of thing. As go ahead and continue, Ordell and XC.
Status report now.
Status report. Received minor malfunction. Cortex has been adjusted. Pathways have been circumnavigated.
Good. We need to maintain stealth.
And I'm gonna let go of XC and help XC up.
Affirmative.
Ritter puts the knife back in his pouch and sits in the little dugout. What is... Okay, this explains a bit more. I gave you a way to get in without being seen and get out. That wasn't taken. I
got stuck in the hole. I got stuck in the hole.
But then the big one, Ordell, is it?
Yes.
Destroyed not only the whole the tower nearby.
I acted because they got stuck. I was
don't-
going to wait for them, and I went in so that they could live.
I
They
don't
were
judge
caught.
the action. I am just confused by it.
Well, your man, whoever this is dead now, and I almost was killed by them in hand-to-hand combat.
I appreciate it immensely. You have no idea my thank you, and I will return the favor. So he holds the skull cap and puts it in his pouch back again.
I'm sorry if I'm irritable. While I cannot feel pain, I can tell when I am dying. And that is something I have been doing for several hours while we have been running. And it has been a very long day, and I would like to rest. If we get caught here, we can move.
He goes over to look at the bag that you were looking at. Winter picks it up. He kind of pauses his head like, did I leave this here? Before he just doesn't think about it much more. And reaches into the side and grabs one of the feathers on the inside and rips the actual feather part off of the quill. Kind of puts it in his hand before he spits in it and goes over to you, Ordell, just kind of on his knees where you just got the gunshot. he places the kind of spit feather mixture onto your wound. And you can see the feathers seemingly acting like a mesh type network as your skin begins to kind of crawl back over it. He's casting Cure Wounds on you.
Are you druidic?
Gods know. You heal for 11 hit points.
You're very good at everything.
I've been here a while.
Hmm.
You learn to live and survive. Oh, Tim Honks makes a good point. How can he spit as he has his mask on? So he's going to take his mask down to do this, as you can see his full face now. Let me grab here. So what you saw before was maskless. Now you see the full face of the Black Archer. I'll leave that up for a moment. Good catch, Tim Honks. Which is a
How
20.
old does he look?
He looks to be in his young 40s. He has been alive for a while. He has mostly dark brown hair with a bit of graying to it, though it doesn't appear to necessarily be from age so much as it is just stress. He doesn't appear to look old enough to where he would have graying parts on his beard, though there are bits of white there that are very showing of the stress that he must have endured. I'll change the face down at the bottom in a moment, but as he heals up your wound and sits back against the wall. I've been here a while. You just learn to survive. That's what we do. You'll learn too when you're here.
How long have you been here for?
I've been here for probably 20 years, somewhere around.
And all of those by choice?
It's better than I was living. Far better.
Might I ask what was so bad that you chose these lands?
You can roll persuasion.
After I just attacked my friend and someone got shot. Feeling very persuasive. I guess I am. 17.
17. He looks at you. He doesn't detect any malice in your voice. He seems to think that he can trust you for the moment with some surface level information. So he said, the Feywild is no place for humans to live for a long time. It's dangerous there. So he kind of seems to grasp at the raven-like skull on his clothing. But this place is a good place to hide if you don't want to be found. The necrotic energies around here make it very hard to locate where people are.
That's fair. I have a lot of knowledge about different magics and things like that. I've done pretty much nothing but study. Is there anything striking about him that I might think is a little unusual for a human?
Go ahead and roll me. Actually, Emma, or anybody proficient in history can do this. But Emma can also roll a religion on this, and Winter, you can choose between the two.
I would like to use my inspiration on that.
Okay.
Emma's not rolling at the moment.
Ordell doesn't have proficiency, so
Okay. Then Winter.
I'm rolling history.
Okay.
Is that correct? If I have
History or
proficiency?
religion, whichever you'd prefer for you.
I would prefer history.
History it is.
22.
22. You recognize the raven-like skull. You've read about it in books. You've read about it in a lot of books pertaining to the history of the land and many of the wars hence past. a while back when all of the wars of the gods were happening. Not only were the gods warring, so were other entities trying to claim their stake in Asterion. That includes the Feywild. It includes the Fey King and his wife, the Raven Queen. The Raven Queen symbol is the skull of a raven.
Again, please excuse me if I'm stepping over a line. I know that we did just meet. But your connection to the Feywild, is it still strong?
I know of the Feywild, but I hope they don't know of me anymore. That's why we remained here so long.
And is that true of the Raven Queen also?
The Raven Queen was unsuccessful in her last plight and wants to know places where she can grab hold in this world, but she hasn't found any. And knowing that she cannot see here, I remain.
So you do her work?
I do not anymore. She cannot
Who do
find
you
me.
work
I am
for,
not
then?
beholden to her any longer.
Well, who are you beholden to? Just yourself?
Now, yes.
That's
This
cool.
land is not as barren or hateful as everyone wants to think. There is opportunity here to make your own way in the world without taxes or kings or rulers to worry about you. If you can survive, you are your own person. It's a true piece of freedom. People don't see it often, but it is beautiful here in the right light, especially the farther north you go.
How far north have you been?
I've been all over. Hold on. He goes to the pouch to the side, and he opens up the small book that you eyed very closely, Winter. And as he does so, he pulls a small piece out. I told your elf that I would help her with this. As he begins to unravel, kind of held up in squares, a small map of the area that he lays out and grabs a piece of one of the logs to hold up like a flame to where you can all get a better look at the map. Drew, if you would
Already
be
in there.
so kind, you can all go check out the C2 story so far. If you'd like to see this in more detail, there's a Google Drive link. However, I will put it up now. It is a map of the Banished Land, and it is a quite detailed map. You can tell this was made with the skills of a cartographer. Everything in here is very, very detailed, and he's able to point out exactly where you are on the map, which I will point out is at the bottom right. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Let me figure out where to grab that, actually. But at the bottom right of the area in which you are in, you will see NOV right near the Ludgate where you all came out of. You are in the very entrance of Old Korra. It says, we're here. I've charted and made this map. Wanted to know where everything was. I made it far up before you get to the gate of the wastes, the snowy wastes to the north. We never went up there, but I've at least traversed most of Old Korra.
And are there creatures and people and beings living happily here?
Yes, some trying to start new lives. There are some holdaways that have what is the start of civilizations. Some living. There are some, as he looks to Emma, unwilling colonies that pop up from time to time. A few that have made further encampments that have solidified themselves. Though not many know of their locations. I've scouted for quite a time. There are also many raiders and bad people like Tadij's crew, though I wouldn't say that it's his anymore. And then there are those strong that lived once in Okanata that can make their own life in the snowy north. But they leave a large gate and don't let outsiders in.
And what of necromancy here?
It's rampant and abundant. The old keep. The old capital city is crawling with ghouls and necromancers that still live and cling to the Coracrucian ways. And there's Arkarova, which is a whole other ballgame, and the floating fortress. Necromancy is abundant, as you can feel around you, I'm sure.
Do you welcome it or shy away from it?
It's no different a tool than crafting fire from nowhere, as he kind of looks back at you for the fireball that you created. Now, what is a ball game? They still have ball games. They play stickball.
So what next?
I have nothing next. There are raiders that I want to kill that don't need to exist anymore. Tadage has been on my list for a long time. I'm sure somebody else will take his head, and then I will take theirs. But for now, I told Ashton I would help you while that you're here, as long as Tadage would be gone. Good work, by the way.
Does not compute. Tadage no longer has a head to take.
So take his place as the head of the town.
So what happens to the town now?
Somebody will claim ownership. Whoever's the most cruel among them and most feared will probably take up the seat. There's a few that I can see doing it. But the people may rise up, but they're scared. That's not any plan I see them doing anytime soon.
It will likely be Morgan.
I've heard the name, but I was never able to connect a face. Which one is Morgan?
Morgan's the hooded individual that approached us when you were watching us.
Is there necromancer then?
He's a necromancer. That's how he had the horses.
With a
Interesting.
spell book?
I'm sure.
How many of these heads of the town would there be? I mean, in one day, Exy, you managed to quite swiftly remove Tadich's head. Could we
Heads are
return
easy
this
to
village?
remove if you aim in the right location.
So could we not just remove all of the heads of those who would look to lead the village and return it to the people?
You have good luck on your side. Killing Tadage was very fortunate for you that those raiders that were gone were gone. The one that you know is Morgan travels largely with the strongest of the group. Had they been there at the time, that might have been a very different outcome. So know that you travel with luck.
Affirmative. There may have been less heads.
I appreciate your confidence.
Tadich fought with this. What is it? I'm gonna hold up the dagger.
I can only make guesses. I don't know if he had the powers on his own or what this does, but I've seen similar ones before. I don't dare try it. It makes quite a noise. He holds the blade and inspects it, making sure before he speaks. I think this is it. He has a couple of daggers, but he must have traveled with this one. That's his warp dagger, or he calls it a gate dagger.
Have I ever heard of anything like this before?
The casters in the group may roll an arcana.
As well, he had this key. It says a tricky key for a tricky door, or something like that in Dwarven. What is this?
Hand it to him. I haven't an idea. He stays inside the home and keeps the curtains closed. I can't see what's inside there, but probably something locked inside his home. I don't speak Dwarvish. I'm glad that you can read it.
I don't either. Ixie did.
Good. Good to have multiple languages. So he hands the key back.
Do you have a workbench by chance?
Not here, but I do in the mountains. I have it both a small one for crafting arrows in the Drakefall Mountains nearby, and then I have my main location further inward into Old Cora.
Property owner.
Probably
Nice.
claimer.
That was a 21.
Your Arcana. You know what the spell Gate does, and the fact that Ordell kind of talks that he used it. It seems to indicate that this dagger has some teleportation properties to it. So some conjuration magic is imbued in this dagger, though it may take you some time to really figure out what it is or does. You could always ritually identify it if you have that ability. If not, you can spend some time, whoever would like to attune to it, and maybe learn a bit more about it.
Do you mind, Ordell, if I take a closer look?
Do whatever you please. I'm gonna hand her the dagger. I'm also gonna hand her the key in case. Also, I found this. It is not of magical importance, but I know you are drawn to unique things, and I'm gonna hand her the pouch of sapphires.
This is just a sack full of really, really pretty rocks. We could
I
make
took it off of his
friendship
corpse.
bracelets. You took it off his corpse?
Yes.
Oh, imagine like little gems with then like tiny little bones in between. It would be so cute.
There's only 4, though. There wouldn't be enough for everyone to have a friendship ring.
Mm.
I will
That's
sit
true.
out. As Ordell goes and sits. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to trying to rest.
Ordell kind of turns over back in the dad pose as you slowly get Steed to sit back down. You put your head up against the thigh of the horse and just kind of ignore the rest of what's happening here.
Yup.
I also think that it'd probably be a good idea if we worked out how to get Ash out of this ring.
You lost on that for me. I have no connection to the arcane.
How did you just heal him?
Feathers. Raven feathers have great healing property.
Emma.
I could see Drew's cheeks go up.
We're just gonna walk over and stand in front of Emma and go, Emma!
As you do that, you just see Ruckus on top of Emma's head, just like Bongo Cat. Just.
Oh no. This is Ruckus. I've met Ruckus a few times, and I don't get a lot of what you might describe as sanity out of Emma when Ruckus is around. Hi, Ruckus!
Beats faster.
Ruckus, do you know how to get Ashrin out of the ring? Do you?
Looks at him.
The back of that puppet blows my mind. I don't know why that's the cutest thing, the back of it.
And then just looks back and then just like crawls up on top of Emma's head and like holds out its arms towards you.
Winter?
I lift Ruckus up.
Your hands go right through.
I can't hold you.
You see this sad expression on Ruckus's face. As it
Can
goes
you
back
go in the ring?
and starts playing bongos on Emma's head again.
Oh man. Exy, you got anything for me, buddy? You guys were in the same pile.
Define anything. I have lots of things.
Do you have anything that could get Ashrin out of this ring?
Maybe. Hold one moment. He reaches down, little pack on the side, pulls out a pair of pliers.
Oh.
I may be able to open the ring with these.
That okay, maybe we'll try that later. I did say I would never leave her again. I guess technically I haven't left her, but I don't think she's going to be stoked about being inside a ring. She didn't really like to hold the ring. Mm. Do you think she'll be mad if I take a nap?
You should get some rest. He's so hurt we could leave in the dead of night. It'd be easiest to not be found.
Okay. Well, I don't need very long. I'm quite efficient at resting, so I'll have a little snooze, and then I guess we can try and make a plan in the morning. Whose day is it?
I don't know why, but
It's
odd.
It's not any. It would be October the 25th. I don't know whose day that would be.
Well, I had my day, and then Ordell had his day, and then Ash's day is today. Although she should probably get at least a makeup afternoon, because I don't think that she's in here by choice. So it's either, oh no, Emma, is tomorrow your day, or does XE's day come first? Tomorrow's your day, isn't it, Emma?
I think it is XC's day.
No, XE's always at the bottom right.
That is affirmative.
It goes, Jackie would be
C's
below
day was
me.
supposed to be
It's
second.
my day. So it would actually go to Winter.
I'm not ready for another day. I know. Why don't we let it be your day, Ritter? Would you like a day?
Ritter is not on the list of days, Winter. Emma is next. Do we
Emma?
add Ritter to the list of days?
Ritter, how many days do you plan on staying with us, and should we add you to the list?
I will stay with you as long as you allow me to keep doing my work, and if you keep killing raiders, I will stay with you a bit longer.
Oh, sounds like we should definitely add Ritter to the list. XE, could you add Ritter to the list?
What is this days and list? What are we doing here?
No. Well, we're not the
Adding
most
to list affirmative.
organized. Yeah, we're not the most organized bunch of people. And also somewhat indecisive, apparently. So we have elected a commander a day type situation. And now you get a day too.
I would feel a bit uncomfortable taking command. I will help you through, but...
Well, guess what, buddy? It's not your choice. You get a day. Added to the list. But for tomorrow, Emma?
I mean, if you're gonna give me a day, I'm gonna spend it in the ring, so...
Well, that's great. Maybe you can get Ash out. It sounds like a productive day. I'll see you in the morning. And then I hit my head and go sleep.
The ring before... Okay. Emma's just gonna, like, search through Winter's just body trying to find this ring.
You find it very quickly. Very few pockets on Winter's attire as
It's
you.
also on a chain on
Oh
my
yeah,
neck.
that's right. That's
so...
right. It's on your neck. So it just kind of flops out, very Frodo style.
Winter's definitely doing the thing where the kid pretends that they're asleep so that their parents carry them in, but they're 100% still awake.
You even
Just
make
like-
the fake kind of snoring sounds.
If I try and touch the ring, can I touch the ring?
Do you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay. As you reach towards the ring, you kind of hesitantly hold your hand back before you grab it. You're able to pick it up and hold it just fine.
I've never been able to do that before. This is exciting and fun. In fact, the last time I was able to do this was like 800. Huh.
Is this a cursed ring? Why is Ashrin stuck in there?
Well, you see, long story short, there was a Dajin that may have trapped me in the ring for a long time. And they had tricked me into there, and I was stuck. And once Ashrin had put the ring on, I was freed from the ring through some sort of, I don't know. But it seems now that I have been freed from the ring, she is now inside the ring. Except for I don't think she'll last as long in there, because as you can clearly see, Emma pops off her head and puts it back on.
Yeah, I got that.
Whereas she was alive. And I'm gonna be quite honest, I don't even know if she can breathe in there.
She is a crimson elf. Just will she be alright without any blood?
That's what I ask. Well, there are 2 containers of blood. Well, actually, 1 container of blood in there now, so she should be all right.
Good then. If she's
'Cause,
fine, then
you know,
we'll
blood
work on a way to
magic
get her
and
out.
stuff.
And we'll leave this land, at least to where we can be safe and more think. Try and get her out of there. We have more tools at one of my smaller workshops, if that's where you'd like to go first, or we want to traverse further inland into Old Cora, we can do that. Then I would have more there.
So Ordell's sleeping, Winter's sleeping, and XC is awake.
I will be using as many hours as I possibly can to make more ammunition, but I'll wait till Ryan tells me how many hours I can use for that.
Gotcha. Emma's gonna look at Ritter and say, "We can figure that all out in the morning." My question to you is, you know of the Ghoul Crest, and I saw it in your face.
I do.
Tell me more. What do you know of them?
I found books and old temples out here that speak of... Would you be offended by speaking ill of them?
Oh no, they're terrible, awful people, except for one, Ruby. She was a good one.
Good. Well, that's what I read in the books, too. Very similar. They seem to work abominations of necromantic work. The Coracrucians would not have taken too kindly to them. At least for what their old texts say.
Oh, absolutely. They would do any of their necromancy in defiance of the gods instead of, because of the gods. So, absolutely. You should have seen some of the abominations I've seen. Foot-sewed hands, and they would just like flop on the ground. Very odd, very terrible things.
I read essentially just that they experiment past what necromancy should allow. Lots of mocking tones that they're not able to mimic what the Coracrucians did with... He points a hand towards you.
I would be that one exception.
Excuse me?
I was not created by the Coracrucians. In fact, I believe I'm the only unwilling that was not made by the Coracrucians.
He kind of opens his eyes pretty wide at that.
Yes.
Truly.
It is good, exciting, fun things. Was tortured. Great things did not happen. Yes. But,
Not sure whether
I'm
to say
here.
congratulations or I'm sorry.
Why not both? It is an odd life. Didn't ask for it, but yet here I am.
Well, indeed. I understand that dearly. I could always lead you to some of the old books if they're of interest to you. There are many, many old Coracrucian temples around here.
I would love that. It would be fantastic to read more about things and add to my library, which you and Emma taps on the ring need to get out of.
He kind of chuckles. Well, obviously the greatest source of books would be in the old capital, but that's I would not go there, except for a last resort. So unless you really need something, I would steer clear. But there are other places.
Well, one day when it is my day, we shall go towards that area. Granted, it'll take a while, so it'll probably take more than just my day. So I'll have to do it in shifts. It's interesting. Emma just sits there and kind of just blabbers on about things.
Emerald Goldcrest, tomorrow is your day.
Then tomorrow, we shall head to places and things.
Works for me. I will sit here and wait. I've been long on watch for you to come. I would enjoy some sleep. Once it gets dark out, it should be in 6 to 8 hours. We can wake and we can leave and move under cover of darkness.
Well, good rest to you. I shall. And Emma tries to go into the ring and then remembers and just like. And then just like collapses on the ground.
XC, as everyone else is fully attempting to rest and sleep and gain their health, Winter, you are kind of faking it, but eventually planning to sleep or just full faking it.
No, I'm gonna sleep.
Okay. So as everybody else eventually beds down, XC, you notice that Ritter seems to kind of, very similar to Ordell, kind of just put himself up against the wall here and lean head down. But for the first half hour, he seems to, you can kind of barely catch it, but with your perception, you can. He seems to also be faking asleep and just looks up briefly with his eyes to make sure that nobody is planning on doing anything to him, taking his things. He's a bit uneasy, but eventually exhaustion does take him and he falls asleep as well.
Emma immediately sits back up. It's like, oh, XC, I almost forgot. Did you need anything before I go to sleep?
Metal is always useful.
You know I don't have metal. You know what I mean? Do you want me to make your bullets better?
Ah. Affirmative. How many can you assist with?
2.
Right,
Anything in
two
particular?
bits of paperish looking things. Same as last time will be perfect.
Emma does a little bit of magic on these 2 bullets.
What spells? Since we kind of left it a mystery last time, let's explain this magic item because it's a lot of fun. So, what spells are you casting? And you go ahead and explain it to him, Alex.
For sure. So I have a small roll of tape that can have a spell imbued onto it. And these 2 pieces are getting a very special Emma flare of inflict wounds put onto them. That then the tape will be applied to the bullet, so that when the bullet eventually touches an individual, the tape can fire.
And it is just touch spells, correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
Everybody got some magic items. This tape is what XC's was. So you're putting 2 spells on it?
Mm-hmm.
1 on each. Yeah.
2 inflict wounds. Last time y'all saw the imps come out and do damage, that was the flavor of the inflict wounds.
Actually, one, just for your knowledge, Alex, because I do have 1 left. One's going to be a 1st level and one's going to be a 2nd level.
Oh, pretty.
So one's going to do 3d10, one's going to do 4.
As you cast the spells onto the tape, you can begin to see in draconic, quick words written on the tape. A very small amount before XC, you rip it off, cast it on the second tape. It's very much like working with the scroll, though in smaller, more activatable form factor. So XC, as you're making these bullets, let's go ahead and have you roll a tinker check.
Push. These are just bullets I've already got.
Okay.
But I will make more bullets.
Perfect.
As Emma, as you casted the spells and I'm pulling the tape apart, you notice that there's probably only enough tape for 1 more spell potentially.
You running out of tape there?
unable to locate more. My supplies are low.
Is it like parchment or something that I could give you?
Was delivered to me by the quarry master. All tools and uses given to me by quarry master.
I have no idea what that is. Sounds lovely. What is a quarry master?
They provide me all the tools I need for specific tasks. When
Were
hunting specific quarry.
they automatons like yourself?
Negative, usually biologicals.
Hmm.
Decisions have to be made by biologicals.
And
Autonomous mechanical individuals have limited supply of decision making.
where might we find more quarry masters? Do they still exist?
Unknown. It has been at least 200 years since last time I have seen an individual as such.
Interesting. We might have to find us. It's not a quarry master, but there are. What are the terminology for them? I believe they are not alchemists. They are artificers. I believe they might be able to help. They at least used to exist. I don't know. I'm sure someone still practices that sort of magic and tinkering.
Perhaps biologicals do have a limited time expiration date.
This is very true. It's a shame. But all things
Is
must
it?
die.
And I sort of spark.
Yes. Well, actually, you're right. It isn't. It is nice that things have an expiration date. It's the one thing I loved about my deity is the fact that they were very patient. All things eventually die. So what's the point in rushing things?
Speed can be important in certain situations.
No, but not in death. Well, unless you're slowly
not
suffering
compute.
and dying.
Speed and death can be very useful.
That is true.
There are multiple ways to increase speed of death as well. You have been assisting me with one today.
I did good. Look at us go.
As XC, you have also begun making bullets, correct?
For as long as you let me, and I'll rip off a bit more of my own body too.
Okay, go ahead and roll a Tinkerer's Kit check. And in doing so, take another 1 off the maximum HP.
Tinkerers is sitting at 19, and another one off my max HP.
19 for the Tinkerer's Kit?
Yes.
Okay. You take off another piece of your leg, one large strut off of what would essentially be your shin bone. It's still able to hold itself up, no problems. There are other pieces there, but it's kind of the cover that protects your shins, quote unquote. In doing so, it's a large piece of metal. You're actually able to make double the amount of bullets that you normally would be able to make. And so with the 19, you're going to be able to make either 8 bullets or 2 specialty bullets.
And they'll all go into standard.
Okay.
An odd question for you, XC, before I go to lay down. Ordell gave you an arm. If we were to attach that to you, could you have 3 arms?
I still have the arm in my bag. I haven't given it to him yet.
I
haven't
don't
seen
have
that
this
yet.
knowledge.
Could I attach my skeletal arm to you?
Is
Can
your
we
arm
become
made of
one?
metal? I have not attempted bone bullets.
dice.
This may be an option.
Bone dice. Well, if I could get in my ring. Damn it, Ashrin. Get out. Emma's just going to start tapping the ring again.
Ashrin did suggest the word "damn it," but I have better words to use in the future.
Can we
and then I give Emma
spend?
a
Yeah, I was
random
gonna say, can
extremely
we
bad dwarven word.
spend? I just want to hear all these words, and Emma will just sit there and listen to them.
So for the rest of the night, as you're crafting these bullets, essentially, so you're looking down with the little bowl that you have, you're like, also shit, did I mention that? So you kind of are twirling and creating the molten pieces to mold and create your bits of bullets, your small little round musket balls. As
Wombat. This means to curse someone to live like a turtle because turtles live a long time, and if they have a horrible life and it goes for longer, they will regret it further.
That is true. That is a true statement. I have
Some-
lived that life.
is it an Australian curse word?
Actually, it's a Chinese one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Womba. Yeah.
Wombat. Oh, I thought you said wombat, so I was like, is it bad to call somebody a wombat in Australia? You friggin' koala. As time passes, Ordell, it only takes you 4 hours to get yourself a full rest here. And so midway through, as the sun would be setting, still not quite enough for Ossory or Winter to have their full rest, you do wake up feeling renewed. The warmth of the fire has slowly kind of scabbed over some of your wounds. You feel better. The bit of raven's feather that was put on your knee, it looks to be all good at this point. The only problem you're having is this is a very small hut and you'd like to stretch, so whenever you leave, a nice stretch would be in order. But other than that, you're feeling better. Is there anything you'd like to do, or would you like to wait for everyone to slowly wake up?
So, Ritter said that we're gonna leave like at 6 hours to when I went to sleep, right?
Yeah,
So
6
he's
or
gonna
8
be getting
hours.
up in 2.
Mhm.
So that means Winter's not gonna be up, and Adam, she'll still need some time to sleep. Yeah.
Low activity would be fine to still get a full rest. So they
Okay.
may be walking, but would probably wake up soon.
Ordell's gonna take some like leftover wood and things, and I'm gonna try and make like a with my carpenter's tools, just like almost like a sled or something I can wear on my back. Basically, I'm gonna make like a back harness so that like Winter can sleep, so he can walk with her because like she's already expressed like she sleeps way less than us. So yeah, I'm just gonna. I feel like 2 hours would be enough to like start making something that she could just like do. My kind of imagining for it is like taking like metal like or something to have like 2 poles and then 2 poles so that she is basically sandwiched in it, and then so I could walk and lean and basically like gravity carrier.
You probably would have to use the wood in. There's not much metal, or else XC probably didn't need to take part of his leg off. But there are multiple different size and shapes of logs and sticks in here that you could make it work with.
Cool. Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
go
use
ahead
some
and
of my scrap stuff and do that.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll me. Do you have a carpenter's kit? I think I remember.
Mhm.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll me a check for that.
I'm going to, because I have to call before. I'm gonna use my knowledge from past life. Actually, I don't know if I have to call before, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Do it.
Ooh, baby, +5, 17. So 22. And what skill is carpenter's? I know it's proficiency.
So it's its own thing. So it's proficiency, and carpenter's would be strength. So strength and proficiency.
Oh, sweet. So wait, 17 plus 5 is 23 plus. Yeah, that's a 29.
Okay, yeah. As Ordell gets up, kind of Emma and XC look over to him before he just sets to a task. He sees a couple of small sticks and a few longer ones that would have almost been used like a sled to bring these in here. Instead, you just pop those off and start creating a small, what would be almost like a medical harness that would go
That's
on
the
your
vibe,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, that would just lay outwards to where Winter might be able to sleep on your back. With a 29, yeah, during the rest of these 2 hours, there's enough twine in here and small bits of rope from like dead trees and vines that you could absolutely make this happen. This is a well-stocked little dugout that he has here.
Cool. When I'm wrapping up as well, Ordell's going to like beckon Exy over.
Let's
And
see.
pop over.
Yep.
I took this off of his body.
And I'm gonna hand the arm.
I have some tools and things on me, but it's mostly for woodwork. So I can assist you in fixing this on or breaking this down into pieces for you. But I think it's in better shape than your current arm. I don't mean to be rude. I think you could use a bit of an upgrade.
I may or may not be compatible. We'll have to investigate, and then I'll investigate, Ryan. What sort of arm is this?
You can go ahead and roll an investigation on that.
I can. And at +4, that gives me a 9.
Okay. As far as you can see, this seems to have a biological connector on the end, as if this is powered with the blood and all of the things inside of a living person, not necessarily compatible with your circuits. So it still could be very valuable scrap metal or bullet material.
Does not seem to be directly compatible. I may be able to use the material.
Then it is yours.
I am not authorized to receive gifts unless you are Quarry Master.
Ixie, while you may not feel authorized in whatever duty you have made, we are beyond war times, meaning rules are flexible. And whether you like it or not, I like having you around. So whatever protocols you have, they are overwritten, or you're leaving this valuable scrap metal here.
And I'm going to put the arm in Xy's hands and just kind of close his little hands on it and pat him on the shoulder. Nordell's going to finish up the thing.
Ixie looks down at the arm and ponders for a moment, checking the programming to see if this is allowed.
0110111100011111000101011. Xy's gonna ponder for some time.
For a while. So while Ordell is finishing making up this almost sled with some straps on it to be able to hold onto, you're basically going to push it inside the bedroll portion of your pack so that it is just easily able to be held up by your normal stuff. Xe ponders, Emma does Emma things for the next 2 hours before eventually Ossory seems to kind of naturally wake up on his own. Like those people that whenever they know that there's a certain time that they're supposed to wake up and how long they're allowed to sleep, very almost like mountain men-y, where you have a certain amount of time to sleep, you get that, and your body just kind of knows you need to be awake at some point. For slowly kind of
Huzzah, no one killed you.
good. Very good. You've been busy, all of you, I see. Could hear some tinkering and some saws. But, good. You plan on carrying a body?
I plan on letting Winter sleep.
And Ordell's going to go, like, basically, like, as gently as possible, like, put the thing, like, under Winter and, like, kind of wake her up briefly.
But it's just me. Rest.
Okay.
And then, yeah, Ordell's going to have her fixed up. So basically, it's like almost like basically an easier piggyback. And then, yeah.
Perfect. As Ossory quickly kind of pushes the door of the sand out, you can see no light enters as he does so, for he throws it off and hear it as the sand and the dust from the dirt on the door lands on the ground. No more light comes in. It is dark. It is night. See, looks back, says, all right, snuff at the flame. You tell me where we're going, since we do this based on days, it seems. Emma, I think, was pointed out.
There are two options on what we do today. We can either go get Winter a new spellbook from town, or, because I would honestly like to see her start raising things from the dead, it would be interesting, or we go to the north.
We can find spellbooks elsewhere. I caution against going back into the town, but I also respect the decision.
Then elsewhere it is.
Well, there are a few places that we could go. If spellbooks are of import to you, there are old temples. There are the Keep Lane ruins. There is the old temple to the far west. There is also a few broken down and abandoned tombs that we could find. The one north of here I wouldn't go to, but there are some nearby the Black Forest, which is near where my base is.
Then in my decree for my day, let's go wherever he wants to go. And pointing to Ritter.
Let us head in the direction of the Black Forest. It will take many days to get there, and then I won't have to decide, and somebody else with a little bit more power and conviction, with no offense to you, can claim where we really should go. Because if you want to go where I'm going to go, we're going to go to an entirely different raiders camp.
That sounds fun and exciting. I'm sure we can find books there. Steed! To me!
As Steed wakes up, its eyes seemingly looking everywhere, it kind of crawls outside of the doorway there as Ritter kicks sand over the last embers of the fire inside there, and he grabs the 2 cordons of arrows and puts them on a small little belt loop on his back as he puts his cape and cloak over it, pulling his mask and hood back up and over as he...
While he's doing that, I'll hand him 5 more arrows.
Thank you. Would you get these?
Bodies of your victims, or targets, whichever way you prefer to label them.
He looks at some of the dried blood on the end of the arrows. Good. These are broadheads. Those will come in handy. Thank you for finding those. Did you get any
No problem.
bullets when you were in town? I know there were some in the barracks.
I do not believe we entered the barracks.
Right. It won't be the only place. Right. We'll head to the Black Forest and see what we can find.
Emma's jumping on Steed.
As you all exit, Emma hops up onto Steed. It is a dark night. However, with a bit of luck, it seems, with these dark clouds, with the red rolling lightning, bits of it have parted through the night. There still is a constant gathering of it, but there seem to be holes or marks in between to where you can actually see the stars up at night for the first time in a while. As you exit, he places the door back onto the mound there. And you see Ritter look up at the stars and kind of pause for a bit longer than you would normally give heed to these stars. He seems to almost have to be broken out of this trance to the stars before Ordell kind of... Fine. We should keep low. You can be on the horse if you like, but just don't get it at a gallop to where they could hear its hooves.
We will be absolutely silent. And Emma looks down at the ring now around her neck and looks at the ring and says, since you have commandeered my house, I commandeer your horse. And Emma's going to take out a little lick of flame, and she's casting continual flame. And she is going to ruin everything, stealthy-wise. And she's going to put it right by the horse's chest. It's a green flame, mind you.
Can you describe this flame and how it now hovers in front of Steed?
Yeah,
it would have
just
to have something that it would anchor to, whether that's one single hair or like the very front chest piece of Steed, to where it basically sits a few inches away without burning the steed, or not the steed, Steed. Or what are you trying to do?
Continual flame doesn't actually burn, and it doesn't use oxygen, so there's no heat, right? So Emma's just like slapping it up against his chest, so like there's flames that like wreath up.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Now. Like, is it sitting a few inches away, just like right in front, or is it looking as if it's coming out of Steed's chest?
Yeah, Steed looks badass now, and totally not stealthy.
As it says, we should be careful. We should be quiet. Don't gallop so that it cannot hear the footsteps.
I will be quiet. Slap.
A sudden gust of green flame. Ritter looks up at you like, put it out.
Oh. Well, Emma grabs like a piece of fabric and just puts it in front of the flame.
That's Ritter. You cannot see much expression other than his eyes, but there's enough expression in them to get.
Listen, it's there forever now.
Forever?
That is a bold-faced lie. Do not believe anything Emma says.
You don't know my magic.
I don't know your magic, but I know when you're lying.
I cocked my gun. Nothing is forever.
Steed, no!
Ritter,
XC's
it's
gonna
not too
put
late.
Steed
Your
down.
home is still right there. You could just close it, and you could just run far, far away.
I contemplate it, but I'd
Are we
always like to
moving?
thank the elf.
Ordell's gonna basically put like a hand back and like pat Winter.
Yes, we're going to be moving. You can rest. Close your eyes.
Okay.
He would like not to. Before you see him kind of pull his hand out and towards the starlight that you see above is quickly dimmed as an almost veil of darkness appears around you. An almost black fog on the ground seems to follow you. Just be as quiet as possible.
Steed, be quiet. Be very quiet, Steed. Do you understand, Steed?
Steed kind of rears its head. Yeah, it whinnies and neighs a little bit. Says, quickly, go. As he did cast Pass Without a Trace now, that he seems that he feels like he needs to. As if you're going to run this way, let's have everybody roll stealth. Emma at disadvantage, but still with the plus
Well,
10 with Pass Without
the
a
flame's
Trace.
covered.
I'm asleep. Do I?
No, Ordell's going to roll for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, for the two of us, it was a roll of a 19 plus my 2,
Plus
so
10.
21 plus 10, so that's a 31. I'm so tempted to do my knowledge from a past life just to make it like the highest roll. You know what?
Ordell
I'm gonna
is
see what.
the knight.
That's a 6. That's a 37.
I'll give you a point of inspo for using the knowledge of a past life on something useless
Didn't
like
have
this,
to-
but in character.
I'll do it. Hell yeah.
I would wait for that, Ryan, because he said he wanted to do the highest, and I rolled 38.
Did you get 38?
I'm only kidding.
Oh, I was like, give me your math. Don't take this from me.
I was like, I know he's got a lot of decks. It's possible. As
Roguish cunning.
Emma, with your
Well,
disadvantage.
I've got plus 7 in it for sure.
Well, disadvantage plus without a trace would be 25.
Okay, so still not too bad. As XE, what did you
And
get?
I'm on 34.
34. Okay. Ritter, Ordell, and
Jeez.
XE moving like the night itself. Emma, you focusing mostly on holding an extra piece of cloth up to at least get you out of the town's vision here with your green flame. Moving in the night might be acceptable with the green flame outside of its vision, but you do recognize that I probably shouldn't be seen here, and you hold the cloth up. As such, you move to the west and a little bit to the north, using the cover of night to try and get your way up to the Black Forest and away from NOV, your first real venture into the heart of Old Korra. Ritter seems to have traversed lands like this, or at least this exact path, once or twice before. Seemingly in this dark, only the silhouette of the landscape taking you in ways that are not a direct path, causing you to go around some areas that you wouldn't have thought to go around, but he seems to be at home in this sort of wasteland habitat out here, as traversing through this knows where to go, what to avoid. I need everybody to roll me a perception. And Winter, they've been traveling for some time at this point. Eventually, you feel fully rested.
Well. Oh, are we? I thought we'd be further along.
We've been moving slower so we can maintain the.
You don't have to move
sneaking
slower with
stealth.
a ranger in your midst.
Oh, that's true. I guess we, yeah. I forgot about that.
You're going pretty quick. He knows where to go.
Winter's just a dick. Perception?
Yep.
8. I've got no idea where we are.
8, good. It's very dark. 8 from Emma, or a 44, one of the two.
I'm trying to hold this fabric in front of this horse.
XE Ordell,
19.
19.
22.
22. As you're all walking, Winter kind of says, I thought we'd be further along. Winter and Emma kind of conversing. Like, no, we've been going at a decent pace. And look what I did here to the horse, Emma kind of points out. Before XC, Ordell, and Ritter, you all pause for a moment as carrying on the winds behind you, as the wind is kind of giving you speed here, you hear a rumble and a noise coming the direction that you just came. You hear what sounds like growling and snarling on the wind. Ritter kind of holds his hand up. Ordell and XC, you stop hearing the same thing. You turn back and take a look. For Ordell, XC, and Ritter, roll me another perception. It's puppies.
Nope. Just no.
Just
Nope.
Nope.
2 plus
12.
4. 6.
Ritter rolled pretty low too, as he said, "It's dark. Still human. I can't see that far, but I hear something on the wind."
Confirmed something on the wind.
Here, I will go look.
I'm gonna slowly unbuckle and put Winter down. And I'm just gonna place my bag on the ground, and I'm just gonna walk over where the sound was.
Okay.
Please
It's coming back
cover
from
my
where you were.
ass.
How far back? Like, is this like way out?
It's a distance away. You can't quite pinpoint it because it seems to be traveling on the wind. And all you see before you on this vast landscape that is only kind of edges highlighted by the bits of stars and thunder that you do see every now and again, it's a pretty black, pretty just empty area. There's a few dead trees nearby. You've traversed through all of them. There's a small fence that you crawled through that once belonged to some home years, if not hundreds of years ago, but you don't see anything out in this landscape as you turn in that direction.
Is the bear trap thing useless now?
Did you keep it?
I mean, I'm not fully sure what would have happened. I used it as a weapon, hit Buddy with it, and then I looted his body. So if he broke it or something at some point, I don't know.
Chat, high or low? Let chat decide if you kept it or not.
If I did, Ordell is just gonna he's gonna like set this trap out. So it's on our path. See
Ooh.
lots of highs.
Immediately lots of highs. And 19, yes, you did keep the bear trap.
Okay, Ordell is going to take a sec and just put the bear trap down, cover it up as much as he can, and then I'm gonna take a piece of that jerky and rip it so it's like it smells fresh, and I'm just gonna leave it with just like on the trap.
Go ahead and roll me a survival to set this trap.
Heck yeah. I know I shouldn't, but I'm gonna use my last knowledge from a past life, because I feel like
You're
this the other
setting
one
a
was a
bear
meme,
trap?
but this is important.
It's a pretty good idea to do good.
Yeah. Ooh, 16 plus 4, so 20, and then plus another 3, so 23.
Good.
From knowledge from a past life.
As you have the strength to easily open the bear trap, but it's placing the jerky without activating it that's the delicate thing. As you place it down, moving your hand away, you see it there, and you know, okay, it shouldn't go off. The wind shouldn't activate that. You seem to have set a well-placed trap. As you've gone maybe about 50 feet away from your group that now sits there, you can see their outlines of the silhouette of this open kind of field that you're in. You could return to your group or wait nearby.
I'm gonna return and just give everybody like a "we should be good, let's keep moving, I'll catch up" kind of thing.
Keep your eyes open. I don't know. Can Warforged see in the dark?
I'm not sure. But there's a trap there, so I'll at least hear them coming.
Define see in dark. My Oculus still operates even if it is dark.
Can you could you read in the dark?
With
can.
assisted tool like a light, I can read in the dark, yes.
It's okay. Well, then
I can read
just-
in the dark. What do you need?
Just look behind us. We heard something, but don't know what it is. Need to
Emma
keep
takes her
moving.
head and swivels it, and then her one eye becomes 2.
Okay.
I have means to be able to see in the dark, but I would prefer to keep my options open.
It's not wholly important. We just don't want to be caught unsurprised.
I will protect us with my vision.
Let's keep moving. Let's pick up the pace a bit.
I will protect us from you, Emma.
I will go through my morning routine, which is to study the books that I've brought with me, but also to cast mage armor on myself. I would have done that as I was like
Waking up.
awake but still in the brace.
During this time that Ordell kind of set you down, we'll say that you kind of prepared yourself up for the morning as Ordell went and set the trap. Are you going to hop back on Ordell's thing or walk alongside everybody?
No, I'll walk alongside everyone. I believe we've said this before, but as long as you're happy for me to do so, I cast mage armor each morning and mark off the spell slot.
Perfect. Yep, absolutely.
Because I'm too squishy to not have mage armor.
Yes, you are. As all of you begin walking further to the west, this time at a bit of a quickened pace, being that it's quite dark, and you're now going at a pace that is more for self-preservation rather than making sure you're not hurting yourselves as you go. I'm going to go ahead and have everybody roll me an athletics check.
Ooh, I'm good at those.
Do I need to do that since I'm on a horse?
Have you roll an animal handling.
Okay.
I got a 21 total, but could I roll a disadvantage to help anyone else? Like do like a straggler thing or something like that, or make my DC higher or something?
Depends. Are you wanting to be watching behind you or are you wanting to help people?
I think Emma's watching behind us, and I trust Emma's judgment. I would sooner make sure that people are moving.
Yeah, you have dark vision, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, then you can help one person. Who
Okay.
you helping?
Then whoever. Okay, I'm gonna help Winter.
You can have advantage, Winter.
This is athletics.
Yes.
15.
15.
I did also say like, hey, I can't see in the dark, so it would make sense.
Did anybody get an 8 or below?
Sure did the first time.
Sure did the first time. No problems then as you run through. There are a few rocks in what appears to have been a dried up riverbed that you go down in a ravine. Very easily could have twisted or broken an ankle on those, but you kind of take your time going through there and everybody traverses, no problem. As you get up to the other side of the ravine, Ordell, your trap worked. The meat was particularly effective as all of you hear out a ghastly, ghoulish scream in the night. The best descriptor could be in a movie where you hear a vampire get staked, right? That kind of... You hear one followed by 2, 3, 4, beginning to sound like dozens of ghoulish cries coming in the direction that you all came from. Ritter quickly looks over and says, "There's a pack of ferals. Okay, we must move more quickly than this. If they had our scent, they could keep following. We need to run."
What are ferals?
They're looks to Emma. Emma, gone wrong. Quickly, as we must get to the forest before Ritter starts going at no longer a jog, but more at a run, trying to head to the northwest. Everybody follow?
I'll try my best to keep up.
Same thing. Yeah, I'm just Ordell's on scooping duty.
Xe, what did you say?
Winter. I look to pick up Winter.
Okay.
Emma keeps going on the horse.
Emma gone wrong. So, Emma. As,
Roasted.
everyone begins rushing to the northwest. At this point, you're going to be going at a fast speed. Ritter doesn't slow down at all, and he doesn't give up, but you can hear his kind of tiredness hitting, but he knows something wrong here, or something is wrong here. This is not a place to get caught out. So with that, I need everybody to roll me a Constitution saving throw, as this is exhausting work.
I'll say, baby. Nice.
Nat 20!
Hey,
Let's go. Insane.
Why you roll your own dice?
True.
Xe has a face going on.
2 + 5 is 7.
It is. Emma, what was yours? For animal handling.
Non-natural.
For you.
Then in that case, a 21.
Okay, Ordell?
22.
22. And Winter, nat 20. Okay, as you're running here, Xe...
Winter's being carried though anyway.
Wait, Winter, were you getting carried? Xe offered to carry you like he did before.
Someone tried to scoop me. So
Okay,
yeah,
then, yeah. So then, eventually you do have to get off and run as XC kind of does stumble at one point. XC, the lack of that extra piece of metal on your right front leg is not as supporting as you'd like it to be with carrying the weight of winter. It's not a lot of weight, but it does kind of encumber you as you move. As such, keeping up at this pace is difficult. You suffer a point of exhaustion. So, as you're rushing, there is a forest that you can see, not terribly far off, but it looks to be a dead forest. You've been going for some time. You've been going straight to the northwest. It's been quite a slog as you've been going for a few hours at this point, but Ritter goes full speed the whole time. At this point, you've been running not only that 2 hours before Winter woke up, you all run, going between jogs and fast-paced running as much as you can for another 2 hours or so before you get to the base of these forests. As you get to these trees, Ritter does not take a moment to stop, but says, "Get up in the trees now," before he reaches and puts his back up to the tree and knee out, as if to hold his hands up to help you all climb up into these dead trees.
But Steed.
I get up in the tree.
Okay. He's going to give you advantage to climb. Anybody who uses his little leg boost like that. The only person I would say that wouldn't be able to, just because of weight, would be Ordell.
I was gonna say, how big are these dead trees? Because I was gonna say, Ordell is looking at those and he's like,
These are old pine trees, so they probably still go maybe 30 feet up, but they may not hold your weight if you don't do so well on your climbs and go to a wrong spot. But you don't have to do what Ritter says, but he does recommend climbing up the trees. So Winter, if you'd like to climb, you can. You do mention Steed, though. Ritter just still holds his knee out, seeming that that's not really a concern for him.
yeah, I'll give it a go.
Okay.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Before you do, Winter flips through her book and she goes, wait. There's something that I've been practicing, and I think this might help. And I'm gonna cast Levitate on Ordell.
Nice.
So a green hand weaves around Ordell and scoops him up this time and raises him up into the tree adjacent.
I do
Be-
not like this.
As Ordell, you're about to climb, Winter says, wait, before you begin to feel wind pushing up against your feet, though you don't hear any, as suddenly you're kind of holding your balance. Ordell has a very high center of gravity, so it's very hard for him to hold his balance, but begins levitating upwards. With how Levitate works, you can put him wherever you want, anywhere 500 feet up.
He's not more than 500 pounds, right?
I don't have it written on the sheet, but Ordell, I did say he is like pushing 8 feet tall. So
500 pounds is a lot.
Let's see if somebody could look up average Goliath weight. So while that's happening, Emma, XC, what are the two of you doing?
I will climb up and take a sniper position.
Okay, you have advantage if you let Ritter hold you up.
between
Sure.
280 and 300 pounds.
Okay, you're good then.
Cool.
You're
So I
not
should be
a
able to get your
Goliath,
shit
but
as
it's
well.
close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Emma?
Steed. Are you gonna be okay, Steed?
Um,
I'm very
Steed?
attached to you.
Steed roars its head back.
Emma, I hate to tell you this, but Steed's a magical construct, my love. You could just kill Steed right now, and it'd be fine. We could bring Steed back later.
Excuse me?
I mean, set
I am
Steed
fine with
free.
you murdering people?
But we
What are you
can
talking
bring.
about? Killing Steed.
But we can just bring Steed back.
Can we though? Because the person that can make Steed is stuck in a ring.
I think if we can't get Ash out of the ring, we have bigger problems than if we can bring Steed back.
I love you, Steed. And Emma's gonna stand up on the back of Steed to get up into the tree and take off the covering and say, "Steed, run."
Instead, you're gonna have
Winter-
Steed run off.
Yeah, with the continual flame as like a beacon of light.
Ah, okay. So you will use Steed for your own benefit and martyr
No,
Steed.
I want Steed to survive, but that's the outcome of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
We believe you.
see if you can convince Steed to head off in a direction. Go ahead and roll an animal handling.
I rolled the blood dice. It is meant to be. That was a natural 20 on the blood
jeez.
dice.
Where exactly do you want Steed to go? Further into the dead forest that you're in, or to the east, west, or south where you're coming from?
I love you, Steed. To the east.
Okay. You send Steed back towards NOV, though a little bit to the north of it. Steed begins running off to the eastern part of this dead forest here. You can see Steed running for hundreds of feet. It is a glowing green beacon.
Love you, Steed.
Ordell is floating in the air. XC is able to climb with the help of Ritter, no problem. Winter, you also rolled pretty high, correct? Or did you roll yet?
Rolled yet?
Okay, I thought you did. Yeah, go ahead.
What am I rolling? Athletics, presumably.
Athletics at advantage.
At advantage. 12.
12. That's enough to not fall. You're able to get up into one of these dead branches, though not very high. You will probably be on the lowest rung as you get up onto maybe about 10 feet up off the ground and just kind of both legs and arms wrapped around the bottom part of the tree just so that you don't fall. You're not really a tree person. This isn't your favorite thing. As Ritter quickly grabs onto one of the bottom rungs and pulls up and gets further up into the tree. Ordell, you levitate nearby the trees, just up in the air at this point. As far as levitate is concerned, unless Winter tells you otherwise, you're going to keep levitating and go further up unless Winter specifies.
Ordell's just gonna grab onto the tree eventually, like, and I did for my athletics roll a natural 1, and then I rolled with inspiration, and I got another natural 1. So I feel like Ordell does not even have the tree. He is just like Space Odyssey.
So the way the spell reads is that they rise vertically up to 20 feet and remain suspended there for the duration.
So, correct me if... Oh, yes, they do the 20 feet, but you can move them even higher if you'd like.
No.
Am I thinking that incorrectly? Yeah, you can
Well,
change the target's
I'm not
altitude.
going-
Okay, you're just not going to. Got it.
I'm not going to keep putting... That seems...
Nerd.
Fly,
Cool.
Ordell. Fly.
My
Go.
my Ordell blimp. Goodbye and good riddance.
What I did
No.
to Steed, Winter is doing to Ordell. Go.
Run.
I just
Be free.
slap Ordell on the butt and go, fly, my pretty fly.
While everyone is saying this, Ordell, like, slowly rotating, crosses his arms and just goes,
I don't like this.
As Ordell levitates about 20 feet up, Ritter gets up in the tree. Winter, you're on the lowest rung based on the rolls here, but you see the green beacon go further to the east. You also, as you're in the tree, begin to hear what sounds like a loud stampede of feet. And those of you who have dark vision, looking to the south to where you come, you see what must be 24 bodies rushing through the field towards you that have suddenly taken a turn eastward from where you're at. And as they approach, you can hear far more snarling and growls and inhumane noises coming out of humanoid shapes, now following this green beacon that has been sent off eastward into the forest.
I honestly wouldn't even worry about it. I'm sure Steed's fine.
Steed is fast. Steed is strong, powerful, and beautiful.
Steed's fine.
Ordell, hearing that and seeing that, Ordell's eyes go from his usual yellow to like more of like a grim, like greenish ochre color as he's just watching.
Ritter.
But also knowing how magic works with Steed, I would assume there's a certain distance Steed can go before Steed just evaporates.
I didn't know that it was magical. I felt bad for a moment, thinking that this would be something done to your horse, but you also lit it on fire. But it's magical. This isn't anything to worry about, right? This is... We can bring it back.
I'm just sad. That is all.
Also, we can't bring Steed back like the same Steed, can we? It's just it's summon a Steed,
No, you can bring
not
Steed back.
summon the Steed.
You can bring Steed back.
We can.
Yeah.
The
why not?
exact same one.
Yeah, he may be mad at you
Okay, cool.
for martyring him, but yeah, you can totally bring him back. Why not?
I mean, I can't.
Not you, yeah, true. We, as a collective, can bring him back should you ever get Ashrin out of the ring. Before you see this flock of ghoul-like creatures rush off, what must have been 24 of them, to the east, following Steed and the beacon you created, as Ritter says. As morbid that it is, this is a good thing. They are not following us. They would have clawed at the trees, though not been able to climb, and we would have had to kill them slowly or find some other way to get down. It's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last that we have to do it, but ghouls out here are vicious, so incredibly feral.
Plus, now they get to eat tonight.
What? They can't. They don't. What?
Mhm.
What are they eating?
Steed.
They can't eat Steed. Steed is magical.
I'm sure
But
it will just disappear. I'd like to think that for my own sanity. But
okay. Do I know what spell Steed is made with?
roll an Arcana check.
May I as well?
Actually, this would be a religion check.
Oh, yay.
19.
19?
Hi. 23.
Both of you would know with enough devotion to certain gods, you could call upon a steed as needed. So, Ashrin, being the paladin that she is, probably has favor from her god to be able to conjure a steed like this. Or find steed. You're pretty sure how the spell works. You've read about it.
Everything will be fine.
I flip through my book to see if I have any notes on Find Steed and then see whether or not we can get the exact Steed back and if Steed is edible.
You're pretty sure that you'll be able to get Steed back. However, once Steed takes a first bit of damage, Steed is going to vanish from the air. So
So I guess they can't.
it will
eat
die and it will
Steed.
hurt, but it will be very quick.
Steed's not going to be too happy.
Steed is a horse. Steed can just run and run and run. And that's what Steed will do. Steed will just run for all eternity.
Winter's going to flip to the back of her book and write possible children book ideas. Run, Steed, run. And flip back.
If they're on to the east, then we should move quickly. We've got a lot of ground to cover, and hopefully we can get your friend back. But let's get out of the tree. Let's keep heading west. Or Ritter starts heading down the tree, as that seems like a solid place to stop for the night. First time in a long time I haven't put you all on a cliffhanger. I don't know if that's good or bad, but...
Bad.
Bad?
You put Steed in a cliffhanger.
Yeah, Steed is in a
It's
cliffhanger.
bad in the sense that the next cliffhanger is going to just be god-awful.
Poor Steed.
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you haven't done so yet, just a few seconds left to enter the giveaway for the Him Go raffle for the thing. Also, check out their Kickstarter. It ends in like less than 12 hours. And it's a pretty cool Kickstarter if you haven't done that one yet. But then we will do the giveaway and we'll call it for the night. But yeah, this is fun. We actually got to meet Ritter Ossory, though there have been nothing close, I will say, in the comments. Nobody has been remotely close yet, but the face should give some stuff away. But you'll slowly get some more clues as we go, but I can't give it away too early. This is 5 inspirations. That's a big deal. You got to work for it. But let's go ahead and do the giveaway, and we'll see who wins these amazing, beautiful rainbow dice from Himgo. And then when Ashrin comes back, the thirst can continue.
Yes.
Though winter had enough for everybody for a little while.
Mhm.
I was just I had my girl's back, man.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta aim the ring so that she knows what she's working with.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cut any grass. Don't you worry.
Yeah, you hate it when he leaves, but you love to watch him walk away and cover the tracks.
I'm just appreciating, okay?
Yay, 99 unicorns.
99 unicorns.
Yeah,
Congratulations
99
on the Rainbow
unicorns.
Dragon metal dice. Woo!
Heck
Congratulations.
yeah.
Make sure you check your email. Blood will be sending you an email so that I can get your address and send those out to you. But with that, thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you back next week as we journey further, truly now, into Old Korra. Hope you have a fantastic night, everybody. Bye.
Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it.